run with it after a moment.
All right, we're live.
We're live right now. All right, all right. So, welcome down, folks. I think it's Tuesday night here, and I'm only slightly confused because I didn't get home till like 3 o'clock in the morning last night from Miami, and didn't wake up until like 5:30 in the afternoon today. I mean, I did wake up, eat some fried chicken, and fall back asleep. But crazy, really quick story. I was calling my buddy Dave like 3 hours ago to find out about Frisbee tomorrow. We're gonna go Frisbee golfing in the morning. And he's like, "How was Vegas?" And I'm like, "What do you mean Vegas?" And he's like, "Oh, wait. I think you were in Miami." He's like, "I don't know. You go on so many vacations, Jordan. I can't even keep track of them." And I just think that's pretty cool, you know. But that's not even why we're here tonight. Why we're here tonight is because, the title was that you're going to discover some secret hypnotic language patterns that $500,000 a month income earners have taught us this past weekend. And, we're going to get into that in just a little bit on exactly what you're going to learn here tonight and what you're going to learn when you pay attention, not only for the next few hours, but over the next few days, weeks, months, and so on and so forth. We're going to get into that. But let me just share a quick story with you about literally, I think, what was this, maybe like 3 years ago, Chris. I know me and Dave Wood were in we were in the same company at this point in time. We were both marketing the same company. And one of the things that I've always known to work extremely well is when you see someone succeeding in a certain way, model them. Model their success because they know what they're doing. And when you can literally model, not copy word for word or anything like that, but literally model their success, basically take it and put your own spin on it and make it your own, well, then you can become successful a whole lot faster. The only thing is, there's certain things you have to know. Some of the things that I didn't know, which we're going to talk about here tonight, were the reasons why me modeling David Wood did not work at all like it works right now with what we're doing here in Empower Network. I remember years ago, Chris, you had the conversation with me, and you said, man, me and Dave watch your videos. Well, the thing was that Dave Wood had this amazing sales video where he was literally recruiting like 5-10 people a day into the system. And I said, man, that video is awesome, so I'm just going to basically model that video and put my own twist on it. And I didn't get results. Like, I barely got results at all. And, it wasn't until about a year later when Chris sat down with me. Actually, we were hiking in the mountains that day. Chris, you remember that day? That was actually when you, secretly, sneakily exposed Empower Network to me for the first time. And what you said to me was, man, we've been watching your videos, and we kind of were laughing at you a little bit. The reason is because, and maybe Chris, do you want to jump in and tell them the reason why you were laughing at my videos and whatnot, man?
Oh, and you're sounding great.
Okay, so the thing was, Dave Wood is a hypnotic secret language master and whatnot. And basically, I didn't realize that was the secret. Like, what you're going to learn here tonight is the true secret to communicating effectively with people and getting them to buy stuff whenever you want them to. And I didn't know that. Nor did I understand what he was talking about. I didn't understand NLP. I didn't understand the secret things that he was doing. So I created this video that took me like a couple weeks to put together. And again, I got no results. And so that is exactly why you want to pay attention to everything we're going to talk about tonight, because when you learn the secrets that we're going to reveal tonight, your life can just become magical. You can start making more money than you ever have before, and you can become a gangster just like Landon Stewart there and not even know it.
I am a gangster.
Oh, man. So for those of you that got a chance to see that video that we just put up there as a preview for everyone, that's why we're getting started a little late. Put your comments below and let us know how much you liked that video. And that was like just an accumulation. That was very much a PG version of what went on this weekend.
I don't even know if I'd consider that PG, Chris. I might even consider that like G-rated, kindergarten and younger rated video.
Guess what? We got Laura Parrish on the Hangout too. She just chimed in on the Hangout because I told her we had the video up. So, hey, Laura.
There's yet another gangster. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was, man, we had a lot of fun with her this weekend. And if you guys watched the video, you saw her breaking it down. She actually, I cut it out, but I cut only to a few different snippets. I tried to use a little bit of the beginning, a little bit of the end, which was the hilarious part because the guy in the back, he was like, click the link below, which is like what marketers do. It was freaking awesome. I loved it. But Laura was rapping. She rapped that whole song, guys. In case you didn't know, she's got skills. 7-minute song, and she rapped the whole damn thing at karaoke.
Actually, yeah, Lana, you could learn a thing about gangster.
I'm not like a true gangster like that. I don't rap.
You want to know gangster, you got Laura Parrish is right there. Right there.
I think me and Laura need to hang out in Denver to learn the real secrets of gangsterness.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. This weekend was about as cool as it gets, guys. I mean, that was just like, a lot of you, if you go to the regular events, you see Dave, and you see him on stage, and you're like, man, even if I can get a chance to just hang around him or see him for a second or shake their hand or let them know how they impacted my life or how they actually changed my life, or something like that. And so the cool part is you can do that in a second. You get to stand in line after the events and talk to him and everything. But guys, you got to understand that event was like 170 people. I mean, everybody got not to just sit in line and talk to him. I mean, we were chilling. We were just chilling, sitting on the couches, sitting at dinner, relaxing, sitting out on the yacht, talking,
swimming in the ocean.
Oh man, I mean,
with that like wicked hurricane in the background. And what did we figure out the secret was in the ocean? I mean, I think it had something to do with well, I don't even know right now. Maybe I'll think of it later and reveal that secret. I can't even think about it right now.
What the heck are you talking about?
When we were in the ocean with Dave Sharp, and he was saying, the secret when we were talking about.
Yeah.
What were we talking about, man?
It was me, you, and a bunch of us went. David Sharp and a bunch of us went out in the water, and we went way out there, and we were talking about all kinds of secret stuff.
Yeah, the fallopian funnel.
The fallopian funnel.
The fallopian funnel. I think that was then. Right.
You guys will see.
You gotta. Well, one of the secrets was to go get more lap dances from strippers, because when you do that, you'll start to understand the upsell process a whole lot better, and so, that's just one of the secrets.
They get you on the quick dollar buy-in, the dollar, and then they upgrade you to the 15-minute lap dance, and then it's the upgrade to the 1 hour private, and then the 4-hour extravaganza, And so we the fact is that stuff works. They've got that funnel down really well. If they could translate that to the internet, they'd be some of the most successful marketers out there. But what we did is, we dissected a little bit of that and talked a little bit about that.
We tore that funnel apart. We tore that funnel apart.
That was hilarious. And then Aki chimes in and says the fallopian funnel. We were like, oh my god. I don't know if that was distasteful or funny or hilarious or sickening all at the same time.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
Yeah. So, we learned a lot. This is the crazy thing, guys. Is as you saw that video. What we really learned was language patterning, and what we learned was understanding how to frame things in a way to get people to buy stuff. This is literally the reason how the Empower Network sales videos work so well, and this is the type of stuff is why David Wood gets conversion and sales numbers higher than anybody has ever seen in the industry, period. He set a new benchmark. He set a new standard. That's what he did, and this has been something that he's been studying for years and years, and I've heard a little bit about, but I'll tell you guys what, I'd always been like, look, man, well, tell me what this stuff is, and he's like, well, read this book and this book and this book and this book, and I'm like, I'm not reading 900 pages worth of neurolinguistic programming books and hypnotic languages and all that stuff. I mean, it's cool, it's kind of interesting, but, after a while, I was like, my God, I just don't see how, really, but the reality is that he got so into it like no one I've ever seen, and then applied it to knowing how to sell, and he had a natural knack and ability, to understand sales anyway. So when he combined the two, the stuff we learned, I mean, some of the stuff he said, my eyes just opened up. I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
Well,
that's how that worked.
Chris, the thing that's so cool here is a lot of people don't even need to learn what we learned here this weekend just yet. And know everything just yet. They can literally just point people to David's sales videos and let him do all the selling.
Oh man, Laura's jumping in on the comments, and she's like, Chris, just scroll down in the comments. I put the fallopian funnel in the comment thread 5
She's
minutes ago.
annihilating you guys right now.
Well, you know.
You should have seen how she annihilated that song.
Shit. All right. You definitely
Wow.
got gangster. All right.
Yeah, you got gangsta. Laura, you guys got to understand, Laura's a badass chick. Like, if we had an Empower Network dictionary and you had, like, badass chick as one of the words, Laura Parrish would be, like, her picture would be there in that dictionary. Like, this was one of the funnest freaking weekends, and she can hold it down. I can understand how, I mean, she's a leader, and she you know, you just go out with her, she's a gatherer, you know, she like knows how to just move the crowd. It's hilarious to watch, you know, like, and pretty cool, you know. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. Laura, thanks for coming on. Seriously, like, this is badass. You're badass. That was one hell of a weekend. And the three of us, man, we had some fun. We went to that, you know, Jordan was talking about, you know how Jordan talked about steak for 3 hours on our last hangout.
It was the entire hangout.
The entire freaking hangout. He just kept on going back to these nice buttery steaks. Well, you know what? The three of us actually took off on Sunday night, and we caught a cab. It was like a half-hour cab ride just to go to this place. We did end up going to this place. And Jordan, I'll let you tell your experience.
Well, you know, the thing about it is, I believe that the steakhouse in Vegas had it down just a little bit better. And I was actually discussing that same theory with one of my buddies that I buy traffic from, and he's like, dude, the one in Vegas, he's like, hands down best steak I've ever had in my entire life. And you know, he was basically, you know, he's like, I watched your last week's hangout. He's like, that's hilarious. That's my favorite fucking steakhouse in the entire world. And you know, the ones that we had, they were good, but not, and they were actually really good, like, you know, better than that flank steak Chris had at the fucking airport. Ugh. But yeah, he ordered a steak at the airport. You know, the food court at the airport. I'm like, that was a bad idea.
Food court. I wasn't
dude.
expecting a gourmet meal or anything, but man,
was
that
still
was
a bad idea.
Horrible. God,
Still a bad idea.
Island Grill or something, you know, whatever.
Oh.
God, there was nothing in that airport.
But those desserts that we had, Laura, how were those desserts that we had, Laura? How did you like those? 290 people. We've got 290 on here. I think we can get 3. So right now, everyone, remember that link right up above. Put your username on the end of that link and go post some stuff on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google+, on LinkedIn. Make up something. I don't know. Talk about the hypnotic secrets of $500,000 a month earners. That should attract some people that want to make money. And make sure to put your username on there. I believe we can break 300 here tonight. If you just go do that right now.
You know what I actually did? I took the YouTube video of the preview video that we made, and I didn't put any promotional links coded to me or anything in the description, but I took that and I put that link in a post first, and then said, hey guys, check out our preview video. This is awesome. And then after you get done watching the video, go here, and then I put the Hangout link coded to me on Facebook.
Nice.
But that YouTube video it has no promotional link, so if they click on it and they actually go to my channel, there's no promotional links in it. If you guys want to get people, like, if they're really wondering, you know, if they don't want to sit and if they go to the Empower page and heaven forbid they look at us and think we're boring, well, they can watch that video first and guarantee you they'll be sticking around.
All right. Very cool. So, like, 4 more people just jumped on right after I said go invite some people here. So you guys work quickly. Keep doing that. And while you're doing that, while you're going and posting links, we're going to go ahead and give some recognition like we do every single week. We like to recognize people who are badasses, people who are taking action, people who are making money. And we can just do that.
LD was like, Dave said naked so many times it's still in my head.
Well, right. Exposing yourself. Yeah. That's the key. Exposing yourself is another key to success. And landed not in the way you're thinking there, boy. No. Although it may be the exact way that you're thinking.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Neither do I, most of the time. I'm just confused right now. I've been sleeping for like 18 hours, and my brain is just in, it's...
Yeah, because at the event we were invaded by Team No Sleep.
Yeah.
And that is literal and metaphorical because it's about 5:30 in the morning and we're all downstairs hanging out like around the hot tubs and everything, and I'm like, I gotta go to bed, and Laura Parrish looks at me and she's like, don't be a wussy. 5:30 in the morning. I was like, you know what? I sleep. You know, Laura, you don't sleep. I understand. That's why you named your team Team No Sleep. But I sleep. So the next day I was like a zombie on the boat. That's why I didn't make a lot of videos, because I was like sleeping on the yacht on one of the couches half the day.
Well, the secret, Chris, is just stop being a wussy, and that's the secret.
Listen to you. Listen to you.
Shit, man. I mean, if I can do it.
Yeah, and that ride, that was a fun ride back to the hotel from that place. That was just fun.
And scary nevertheless. Those cab drivers are fucking nuts.
Aren't they? Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I've never actually been so terrified in a car ride my entire life, and excited at the same time, let me tell you.
I mean, I thought I was going to lose body parts or something.
I was definitely worried about the same thing. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, you guys have no idea.
So why don't we just start off, man? Thomas, why don't you go ahead and start recognition, man? Any welcoming recognition, anything you want to talk about, and then we'll just keep it. And by the way, if we didn't cover this yet, Amy may jump on in just a little bit, but right now it's like 5 in the morning and she's in Ireland with her dad. She took her dad there for his birthday, which a year ago she couldn't do things like this because she was struggling to make $2,000 a month, and now she makes anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 a month. And so she was able to take her dad on an all-expenses-paid trip to Ireland for his birthday, which is something he's wanted to do for his entire life. So that's why she's not here right now, but we may jump on in a little bit. Also, income disclosure link down below. Amy's not average, neither are most of us that are here, and not just in the weird, fucked up, in the head type of not average, but we make a lot of money because we're not average. So basically click that income disclosure link down below.
Yeah. You know what, the average person, here's what it is, guys. Let's just be real. Can we call a spade a spade? The average person doesn't do shit after a couple weeks. The average person sees that they don't get any results right away and they quit. The average person thinks that they can get something for nothing when they join something like this, because us as marketers make it sound so easy because we have gone through the process and it seems now too easy to us. The good news is that if you stick with it and learn it, it can become easy over time if you do it repetitiously and learn your craft, okay? This is something that can pay you for the rest of your life if you learn how to do it right. But yes, the average person normally doesn't make too much money. So we have that income disclaimer below. The cool thing is that income disclaimer shows actual reflected earnings, and those are way higher than you'll see in any other direct selling company in the whole industry. So just a quick note for you there. Go ahead with some new recognition, Jordan. Go ahead with your recognition real quick, man.
Thomas.
If you're ready, yeah.
All right, let me start so I can listen to you guys about the power of language. Quick shout out to my man Stephen Brewer for upgrading to the 15K, and you're welcome, Jordan. You know, I love giving you money. You know, it just makes me happy. So great, you know, the keys to the castle, Stephen. And you're going to have some awesome training there, and this is going to catapult you to the top. I also want to give a quick shout out to Peter Martinez and Clark Myers for upgrading to the inner circle. And I have a couple new people on board, but not that many this week. Give me 1 second. All right, Leon Watson, welcome on board. I still have to call you. He joined today. Joe Martinez, he joined yesterday. Welcome on board. I'm going to give you guys a call tomorrow. Jessica Carpenter, we talked yesterday. Very lovely lady. Welcome on board. She's going through all the through the basic stuff right now, and she's thinking of upgrading very soon. So that's about it for me on my side.
Awesome.
Oh, and Jordan.
Yes.
Gene Valver says hello. Unfortunately, I was not able to shoot a video because I'm under contract. So.
Right, dude, that's badass, man. Did you tell him that I loved his movie with Richard Pryor?
It was. I said that to him. Yes.
That's awesome, man. For those of you that don't know, Thomas is a fucking top-notch chef. And who'd you cook for the other night when I was texting you, man? You were cooking for Gene Wilder and some other people.
Well, yeah, without naming names, there was an event, and Spock was there and Captain Kirk. And
without naming names. Not like I'm name dropping or anything, but...
Yeah. But we do some cool events, and we have, when we do the events, we have usually some either rich or famous people there. And it's always fun to do events like that, especially if you see people you used to watch as a child on TV. So it's pretty cool. Love it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's super cool.
Awesome.
Right on.
All right, Landon.
Sure, man, sure. I have some inner circles and stuff to do, which the first thing I want to say is just like how awesome Empower Network is. Like, I've been marketing online for a long time, and I struggled for years. Like, the first, 3 years I marketed online, I sponsored, 3 people ever into my other deals. And, this weekend, Saturday, checked my back office Saturday night, and, I hadn't been on my phone all day because I went on, a mini vacation. Yesterday was my girlfriend's birthday, so if she's watching, happy birthday to you, Melissa. But yesterday was her birthday, so we kind of went away for the weekend and all that, went to her parents' house. And I checked my back office Saturday, and I had 6 new teammates. And I was like, holy crap, I sponsored more people today while we were celebrating your birthday than I did in the first 3 years in these other things. Because other things are really hard. But so that just big shout out to that. But so I sponsored, Ryan Garza. You got the Inner Circle, man. Congrats. The Inner Circle is just, it's unbelievable. The information, if you're not in the Inner Circle, you need to get it. Because the information in there seriously changed my life. I listen to an audio in there every single day. And so Ryan Garza, Ryan Reynolds, Kojo, Derek Weil, who just joined me today, actually. You got the Inner Circle as well. That's awesome, man. And then Kyle Kinnerly got the Inner Circle yesterday. All of you guys are awesome. The Inner Circle is a great product. Let's see. Let me check my Costa Ricas real quick. Looks like Donna Lee got the Costa Rica, and then Dean Stevens, who isn't on my team, actually a teammate of mine, Brett, who I want to give a huge shout out to, because Brett got 2 $500 sales last week without doing a whole lot of work. I know one was while he was sleeping. Dean might have been while he was sleeping as well, which is just, it's just crazy to wake up to money. I used to sell deals, and I'd be on the phone with people for hours and hours and hours trying to sell, begging people to buy. And in Empower Network, you wake up every single morning, and you're like, crap, I've made I used to have a job and make $80 a day working all day so hard, and now I wake up now and every day, I think so far this month I've woken up to at least $100 new in my bank account, without doing anything yet, making more money while I'm sleeping literally than whenever I had a job, which is just just gangster. And then I think Donna Lee, so that's awesome. So congrats to all you guys. I love my team. You're awesome.
Beautiful. Chris, you go too, buddy. I got a little bit of a list here, and I don't want to.
All right.
I know some of your people are on the list, so I don't want to step on your toes before you introduce them or what have you.
Well, it doesn't matter, man. It's either way, we're good. I wasn't fully done compiling it because I just haven't taken the time yet. So.
Right on.
But I do know off the top of my head that Chris Hunt upgraded to the 15K. Last I believe it was Friday, and so June 7th, so yeah, Friday, and congrats. Chris got started about 2 months ago in April during my promotion, and he just, the cool story with Chris is that, his wife was extremely skeptical and negative, and she essentially said, look, I'm giving you a time frame and a budget, and then you're done with this nonsense. And at first he was like, well, if this is the only way, we can deal with this, then I'll do that now, unless, and he said, well, I'll prove to you that this is worth it. And so over, from April to May and May to June now, it's been literally, he upgraded about 59, 60 days from the day that he started. And she told him, I think it was 2 months or maybe 3 months where she said, you've got a $500 budget and that's it. And obviously that's next to nothing, especially if you're going to be using paid advertising. You kind of have to throw away a few hundred before you even learn anything normally, But with Jordan's strategy, that doesn't necessarily always happen. Don't throw away as much money at all, actually. So the cool thing is Chris finally had enough results where he had a heart-to-heart with his wife, and his wife finally said, you know what, okay. And he went from the basic and inner circle to where he upgraded to the Costa Rica Mastermind and the 15K on Friday. So give a hand for Chris. Congratulations, brother, and we'll see you in the all-in section here before long. And so that's an awesome story that just shows guys that, if you keep plugging away and you show that how this business affects you and how this business will change your mindset and create a frame in your mind that gives you a choice on either being completely all in on this and positive, or just loving your life all the time and being thankful and grateful for everything that you have. And so people notice that, So when you do that, people resonate with it. And so, Chris, it's just an awesome story there with that. And congrats, man. And anybody out there, you can choose to do the same thing if you're dealing with a spouse that may be skeptical or negative or doesn't understand or doesn't believe in what you're doing. Stick with it, stay the course, and learn not to engage and argue, but just show them. It may not even be by the results you're getting, but how it's affecting you by plugging into the inner circle, listening to the audios, by plugging in to the other training that we have, and by plugging into these hangouts so that you understand how to change the mindset and shift that to a place that gives you what you need. And that's a real important thing that a lot of people overlook, but that's one of the main intentions that our team has, is all about personal development and mindset. And so that's the biggest thing really for me, and that's also who I target mostly with my advertising and marketing, is people who are into personal development, that are already open and wanting to learn more and change, because I know those are the types of people that are willing to upgrade easily, which is why my upgrade rates are the highest upgrade rates in all of Empower Network. And out of 140,000 members so the active affiliates, there's a significant lower number of active affiliates at the moment, because we have a lot of customers too as well. People sell those blogs. I don't know that exact number, but we have a lot of people in the system going there. And so my upgrade rates are the highest. And there's a reason for that, because of my markets and who I'm targeting, and understanding that the real magic is this mindset shift. And so that's perfect proof for you, is in the case with Chris, how it really, he got plugged into everything. And it just started changing him, and his wife was like, okay, talk to me about this, so just know that that's a possibility that lays ahead for you if you so choose. And let's see here, we've got Betty Reyes just came in on the 7th into the basic. I haven't connected with Betty yet, so Betty, welcome, and hopefully you're on the line tonight, and look forward to talking to you. And then let me check real quick here on 15K and see if anybody came in from this morning that I didn't see yet. Okay, looks like we're good there. And now I was told, now Jordan, have you confirmed this yet? I believe Angela, I think she went all in this weekend.
She told me she went all in.
Okay, all right. I'm not
I might have. The thing is, there's the form that they have to sign, and that might take a few days to kick through. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like it did for Norma.
Yes.
And that's not even on this list. Yeah, we gotta, So here's another thing, guys. We got a little bit of a list. Like one of the things that Andrea does, and we love Andrea. She's so awesome. Is she goes through and anytime you guys like email in to get upgraded on the team site, she keeps a note of who upgraded. She's also browsing through the Facebook group, but obviously there's so much action going on in the Facebook group because there's so many people talking about all the success they're having in our private team Facebook group that anyone gets access to when they join. That we can't even keep track of it all. We miss some things, we miss some things. So if you did upgrade this week, or someone on your team upgraded this week, make some noise in the comments if we missed you. I'm going to go through a little bit of a list right now, and I might repeat some names because, although I was paying attention to Landon and Thomas and Chris, I also at the same time very easily distracted, if you can't tell, just by the way that I'm talking. So here is the list, and I know there's more than this. I know there's a few other people that actually went all in this week, and I can't even, I know they're not on this list. So again, apologies, but Angela Moore went all in. That's awesome. She's literally recruiting people like crazy right now. And, she was away for a while just like me, and then she came back and saw what we were doing over here and said, you know what, that just makes sense. And I was chatting with a friend on the phone today who was trying to get me involved in some network marketing opportunity that he just got into, where you make a list of people and then you call them and you say, hey, I got this thing I want you to check out. Which is cool, he loves doing that. He does very well at that. But the thing that we were discussing, he's like, I've been watching you succeed like crazy over in Empower, and that's awesome, man. And he said, I wasn't succeeding when I was over there. After a long time, I didn't see any duplication, and the difference is because back then when we were over here working, we didn't have what we have in place right now. The reason Chris gets upgrades, the reason people in our team get upgrades like most people don't get in this company, is because we have that formula, the BTC formula, and there's a lot of different working, moving parts to that, but some of them that I can let you know about, just a few of them, I can't even let you know about all of them until you get in and join the team. But the thing is, we have a team site where people can get trained and people can get the knowledge and people can get all the stuff that they need access to get started and start making money without you literally having to do anything. You just simply plug them into that team site, and then it does everything for you. So you can go off and be like Landon and take vacations, once or twice a month, or like me and Chris. I think I did like
every
4
week.
Vacations last month, man. I mean, Jesus, I got to tell you, I'm doing nothing this weekend. I'm not going out this weekend for the first time in like 2.5, 3 months. And by going out, I mean like leaving the state, like going on vacation. I may go to a concert, but I'm not going on vacation for the first time in like 3 months, and I'm so excited just to be home and like I'm actually going to go grocery shopping for a change. I haven't gone grocery shopping in months because I come home and I'm like, well, I'm home for 3 days, so I'm just going to order takeout food every day, But yeah, that's one of the key reasons. The Facebook group is another key reason. The rest of them you'll learn when you get inside. But that's the reason why our duplication is going like crazy. I mean, Landon said one of his team members, is getting $200 $500 a day. Brett, awesome stuff. Another guy who you're going to hear from in just a little bit, maybe tonight, maybe not, probably next week. You come back to learn from him next week, actually. He's going to share with you how he literally has been in Empower Network for 14 months but did not realize that he was in our team until he met Chris at a live event down in Chicago. He plugged into our team. Previous 14 months, he didn't recruit a single person in Empower Network. Within 2 weeks, he recruited 2 people. Now I think he's up to 5 or 6 people, and this is literally just like 6, 7 weeks ago, and he had his first $1,000 day just the other week. So what's the difference between what we were doing a year ago and what we're doing now? A big difference, and everything you're going to learn when you click the button down below and get started with us is going to be inside that team site. It's just a beautiful thing that we have going on, and that's why people over here are succeeding more than I've ever seen success anywhere in my entire life. We like to say success is easy here, and the thing is, we also say sometimes that we work hard, and then Dave Wood says hard in comparison to what? I think about sitting in front of my computer, studying hypnotic language patterns, studying sales patterns, studying how to get traffic, studying different things, putting together sales funnels, which you don't have to do any of that stuff. You can literally just get in and follow our formula and not need to understand anything, and you can start making money before you even know what's going on. But the thing is, hard in comparison to what? I think about, I used to work in Thomas. You can probably relate to this. 10, 12, 14, 17, 18-hour days, 20-hour days in a kitchen, sweating my ass off like crazy. And then you go to bed for like 3 hours, wake up only to go back the next day and do the same thing all over again. Well, when you do that where you're working, 80 to 100 hours a week for 7 years straight, you finally realize, hey, maybe sitting in front of a computer, laying in my bed, or out in the park, or on a bench overlooking the ocean in Hawaii, or at a table with the breeze blowing off the Miami beach, down in the hot sun like we were, or wherever it is you want to be. Hard in comparison to what? And it's amazing because there's people that look at what we do and they say, well, I don't want to have to go through like Megan, who struggled here for 6 months and wondered why she wasn't having results. And then finally, just after about 5.5 months of being over here, everything started clicking for her, and she started to recruit people. Like Marion, I know Marion, you're Marion Collin, you're starting to recruit people. I don't know if you've done 3, 4, 5, 7, but I see people coming in time and again, and you've been here for a little while, paying attention since like maybe December or January. And the question I have for people is, would it be okay if you got in and started succeeding in your first week? Or would it be okay if you got in and started succeeding in your first 6 months, or even your first 12 months, to the point where all of a sudden you can say hard in comparison to what? Yeah, I went through a year of learning all this stuff, and now my life's freaking amazing. So let's get back to these people who upgraded this week.
Yeah, quick here, just to let you know, Angela just did put in the comments, she did upgrade. And she did go all in this weekend, so congrats. Or she went all in like on Wednesday of last week. And then she also passed up Santonio Portis Jr. We all know him. He came to the Chicago event as well, and he passed up to me actually on that. And so he went to the 15K last week, I believe, too, as well. Mm-hmm. So that happened on Thursday or Friday. We were actually sitting in the hotel room at the event, and I saw that. I had like a $1,750 day that day, and all I did was kind of get up and walk around the hotel a little bit and pull off a bunch of shenanigans, so.
Shenanigans is a key to making money, though, I found.
Yeah.
It's the absolute key. The absolute key.
Absolute key.
And there's not many people that are better than shenanigans than us over here at Empower Network, let me tell you. And you know what, I would even say our team, but at the same time, then I know there's a lot of other people in Empower Network, and we just love to have fun and shenanigans, It's crazy. I found out that picking your nose on camera is a great way to get people to pay attention to you. Landon's about to start picking his nose like crazy, dude.
I actually had like a little bug fly up, and I was like, let me just go for the nose pick.
Yeah.
As you realize now. No.
As you realize now that picking your nose is a good thing to do on camera, it gets people to pay attention to you. Farting on camera is a great way to get people to pay attention to you. If I had to fart right now, I would, but I can't. You may have heard me fart earlier, and you're like, what was that noise? That was me farting. It gets people to pay attention because they're like, it was like I was in the middle of a deep conversation at lunch the other day, and this hypnotist was explaining to people how to hypnotize people, and he said it's like having sex with someone's brain. And I was off over here talking to someone, and instantly my brain went over here. He's like, yeah, that caught your attention, didn't it? So you're damn right that caught my attention, man. I wouldn't know how to have sex with people's brains, not in a weird way, but how to hypnotize them and get them to
that was
action.
What was crazy when he said that. He said sex with someone's brain. I was like, what? What?
Well, it just catches your attention, and even those of you out there paying attention right now that weren't paying attention like 4 seconds ago until we said sex with your brain, you're like, what did they just say? Even if you don't want to do that, you still wonder, what the heck are they talking about? So you start paying attention and listening to all the words that are coming out of our mouth. It's amazing. Back to these upgrades. Let me get through these upgrades really quick, guys. I'm going to get focused here for a minute. Allison Goralski, she came in last week, and she was in last Tuesday, I believe, and just this past week she upgraded to the Inner Circle. It was pretty cool. She typed a question into the Facebook group. She said, hey, I'm looking for some really good mindset audios that I can listen to start transforming my brain. And instantly a lot of people in the team were like, get the Inner Circle. Because the Inner Circle is chock full of mindset training that will transform your brain. And when you start listening to those audios daily, Landon, you listened to that audio for 21 days, and then you started making $10,000 a month.
Yep.
So
yep. July 23rd audio. Listen to that every day.
Yeah. So get ready, Allison. That's awesome. Janet Napora, she joined my team. And Janet, I don't know how long you've been on my list, but you've been following me for a while. We've been connected. I know I've seen you on Facebook, and I know your name for quite a few years now. And you just decided to get in recently. So a lesson there is some people need to see you around for a while and doing things for a while before they just get in with you. So stay consistent and stay in action, and people will all of a sudden just want to join you. It's pretty cool. She just upgraded to the Inner Circle as well in her first week, so be prepared for those mindset shifts. Forgive me if I mispronounce this, and I believe you're on Amy Star Allen's team. Binghai Glassford just upgraded to the 15K, and I believe you're also a very new person in the team. congratulations on that. Remember, folks, too, for those of you that are in the team, we do have that very special promotion going on for the month of June, which is also one of the reasons why a lot of people are upgrading right now to the 15K. And so what may happen if you don't upgrade right now to the 15K, you may miss out on commissions from your team members that are going to go and upgrade to the 15K because they want to get the bonus training. Actually, the training that Landon and I put together, one about how to do Facebook PPC marketing, the actual how-tos of that. The second part about how to write hypnotic language and get people to want to buy stuff like right away like Landon does. That's why he's getting like 2 to 3 signups a day. That training is a bonus we're giving away right now, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are upgrading. So Jeff McCarty, congratulations. You just upgraded to the 15K. Tom Monahan upgraded to the 15K. Scott Fitch went Inner Circle. He's also a new member. Santonio Portis, I believe you mentioned him, he went 15K. Chris Hunt went 15K, and Steve Brewer went 15K. So congratulations to all that. It was funny. Andrea's like, wow, there's a lot of people going 15K right now. I said, absolutely there are. And again, that's the exact reason why those of you that don't own it yet are going to want to do it now, because otherwise you're going to get one of those emails that's annoying that says, congratulations, you just lost $1,000 commission. You're going to be like, son of a bitch. I should have upgraded to the 15K on Tuesday night at 9:57 p.m. Mountain Time when Jordan told me to, and now I'm upset that I didn't do it. So congratulations to everyone who upgraded and are getting that training. Now, the other cool thing about the 15K, which all of you should do right away, don't just jump in and then go into mine and Landon's training. What I want you to do is jump in, go through Module 1, and then go through mine and Landon's training, because when you go through Module 1, and more importantly, when you go through Module 1, here's the thing that I'm going to share with you that a good friend of mine, Paul, he did this, and literally within 6 months was able to pay off his mortgage with the money he was making from Empower Network 5 days before he said he was going to pay it off. 5 days before his intention was set to pay off his mortgage, he actually, after he went through Module 1, you're going to write out this amazing intention that Dave Wood walks you through step by step on how to do this. He recorded himself saying that vision and put it on his phone, and then he listened to it every morning when he woke up and every night when he went to bed. It takes about a minute to listen to it, maybe 2 minutes, but he listened to it twice a day, every single day. And then the day that they went and paid off their mortgage, he actually went over to his wife and he said, honey, you know, I know tonight's our anniversary and or her birthday, it was one of the two, and we're supposed to be going out to dinner. However, let me just have you listen to this 2-minute audio really quick. And she listened to it, and then what happened was Paul actually went on to the Monday Night Empower Hour call to share his story, because in his vision, he said, I'm going to pay off my mortgage by this day and time, and because I'm going to pay off my mortgage by this day and time, I'm going to be speaking live on the Empower Hour that Monday night. Well, that Monday night was their anniversary or her birthday or something. She said, honey, you got to go speak on that Inner Circle call. You got to do it. You got to go share your story with people, because that's part of your vision. So she let him share his story, and then they had dinner for their anniversary after that. It's just so powerful, you know. So that's what he said he did. He recorded his voice saying it, and it's a little more powerful. It sinks into your subconscious more when you hear yourself saying it out loud.
That is cool. I haven't done that yet.
Absolutely.
Guys,
awesome.
Laura just we're 299 right now.
We're 301, buddy. We're 301.
Okay,
We're 301.
Yeah. Laura just went and posted it on her Facebook wall.
Hey, Chris, print screen, buddy. Print screen.
It still says 298 on mine, so I'm just going to refresh the whole page.
How do you print screen? Is it Control and print screen?
I'm snippeting it.
Yeah, Control P. Yeah, Control print screen. What the heck? Okay, whoa, 307. Holy crap, Laura. She was like,
yeah, you have 307 now?
300. Yeah, mine says 307.
That's cool, because last week we only hit like 287. And
yeah. Well, Laura came on here. She said she just posted on her wall. She wanted to help us break 300 people, and now
309.
Going up.
So we're about to have like 17,000 people on here. Thanks, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, just under 310.
Yep. Spread the good word. We're hanging out tonight. The cool thing is guys, that we got here with you, and we're going to talk with you about a lot of the cool stories and stuff that we had going on this weekend. Here's the part I'm just going to throw up front at you. I wanted to wait a little longer to tell you this, but I'm feeling like we should let you know. What we learned this weekend. You guys, I'm serious. the weekend, the weather was horrible. We actually got in real late as well. There was all kinds of weird weather going on. But Dave Wood wasn't able to get in until 3.5 hours after we started the Friday night session. And so Dave comes in at about, I guess it was like 10:30 or 10:45. And Sharp just went off for the last, like I think it was like 2.5 hours or so, and just talked about, influence and language and what it really
Getting
matters.
naked, exposing yourself,
All
strippers.
that stuff. It was, I mean, just that little piece right there, I could watch over and over again. That 2.5 hour segment where Sharp just went off. I mean, that was just a thing of beauty, And he did that from the cuff,
Yeah.
Dave was supposed to be teaching that night, and Sharp wasn't prepared, and he didn't want to do the how to tell your story first thing off that night. He was going to teach that the next day. And so, he even was like, look, I'm getting a text from David Wood right now who's on the plane using his Wi-Fi, and he said, just relax, let it flow, and there's a message, obviously, that they need to hear because everything happens for a reason, something like that, and just be in the middle of it, be in that moment. And, Sharp just went off like I just saw him just, like, transform before our eyes, and that was awesome. But here was the other crazy part. As we have like 315 now, holy crap. Here's the cool part. Wood gets in at like 10:30, and he hands us this packet, okay? Now, I want to show you guys this. So, look at this. I'm going to hold this up, okay? You see this awesome, this badass packet here that I showed you? Now look at that, okay? Now I want you to look at this. See how thick that is? All right? But wait, there's more. All right? More. Okay, so there's even more here, and more. Okay? So, mind you, we are in Miami. Look at all that, okay? We are in Miami on a Friday night, and we got to go through all of this. This is, how many pages was this, Jordan?
All I know is I spent 3.5 hours doing it, and I got about halfway through, and I was like, I can't even see straight anymore.
So he says to us, you have to do this homework tonight, and you have to fill out all of this. If not, we're going to make you wait outside in the foyer and finish tomorrow before we let you in for the morning session, and you don't want to miss what's being taught the next morning because it's crucial, so you have to be finished with this. So take a couple hours. You may be up a little late, but it's going to take you a couple hours to finish. And we're looking at the clock. It's like 11 o'clock, and we're like, okay, 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, all right, we'll do it, We don't start till 10 o'clock the next morning, so a lot of people are like, okay, well, I'll just go to sleep and then wake up in the morning and do it in the morning and everything, right? Bad idea. Bad idea. Really bad idea. Because you have this whole packet here that you got to read through as well, how thick that thing is, okay? And this itself was like, that was 40 pages. 40 pages, okay? Do you see this? I mean, this is not, it's not big letters, but it's not small, I mean, there's just stuff like that. And so, trust me, a lot of you guys are like, oh, I wish I was there. Well, yeah. And you got there Friday night after Wood got done talking, and he let us out of there at 11:30. I was cussing Dave for the next 3 hours.
Yeah, you were. You had to leave the room because I was sick of hearing you complain like a wussy.
I was sitting there trying to fill this out. I was like, this mother. Oh my God! I want to kill. He never did homework in his life,
and
now he gives us homework.
What happened after we filled it out? What happened after we filled it out? It was
okay. So the great thing is
amazing.
that yeah. So I understand why he did it, and I was cussing the heck out of him. and to really finish a packet like this takes like 4 or 5 hours.
7.
Really, yeah, about. And so the next, like, I get halfway through, Jordan's falling asleep up at the desk, like going like this, almost slamming his head down on the desk, falling asleep. It's absolutely hilarious. And so we finally are like, okay, we're just going to cut it out, and I was like halfway done, okay? And wake up in the morning thinking we're going to get some of it done. We start working on more of it, and then all of a sudden we look up, it's like 9:50, 9:52, and we're like, crap, we got to get down, we got to get down there. And so we get there, and they're like, yeah, everyone just comes right in. And I was like, I knew he was going to do that shit. I know he was just going to let everybody in, but everybody was going to do it because they thought they couldn't get back in. And so everyone's sitting there, and we're kind of looking around at each other like, he really just did that to us. And I'm cussing him even more. He walks in the room. I look at him. I'm like, I fucking hate you. And he just cracks up. He's like, yeah, you'll love me later after we apply some of the stuff you learned tonight.
Yeah.
But
Just to clarify, guys, people are saying they couldn't read. It wasn't the reading that was the difficult part. It was it was a workbook. We had to fill in answers and think, like we had to think with our minds,
Yeah, we actually had to fill it out.
There was a lot of writing. My hand cramped up like 17 times.
Yeah, like all this crazy stuff that we had to fill out, and I mean, just dumb. I mean, not dumb at all. Just it was like you would think this is the last thing you want on a Friday night, especially when you're like at a conference, and you're in like, let's learn during the day and have fun at night. We're all here, let's party, let's have fun, and then so. But that's but here's the thing, guys. Here's what happened. Okay. I went through that process, and some of it I had gone through before because some of it actually mirrors what is taught in the first module of the 15K per month formula, where Dave, talks about setting your intention. However, he goes even further to help you go through a process where you really tap into your subconscious mind and you start getting deeper and deeper and tapping into your purpose and why you're here and why you're doing this thing, which then can allow you to understand what the subconscious blocks are. We literally listed off all kinds of stuff that we didn't even realize our subconscious mind was having a conflict with in the first place. And when we got that conflict resolved, it was like I felt this sense of like, wow, now I know like the 25 things that my subconscious mind wasn't giving me permission to really do on a subconscious level because I hadn't handled it consciously, and I wasn't made aware of it until I went through that exercise. That was monumental. I mean, it's like after that I feel like I have traction. After that I feel like it's like all of a sudden the things that were holding me back just unlocked, and I just know things are going to be like a snowball effect now because of that. This is some of the most powerful mindset stuff that you could ever have. And the cool thing is, guys, is this is going to be a product for Empower Network that everybody's going to be able to sell and have at 100% commissions. How cool is that? So, and that was only the first part. Then the second part was actually going into language patterning, and they would give us all these examples where we had to read through this crazy, I'm telling you guys, it's better to go through this format in the product than having to be at the weekend event, because it was nuts staying up half the night having to read through this crazy linguistic framing and all this stuff, and it's like 2 in the morning. I'm kind of rubbing my eyes looking at this like, is he kidding me right now? So, but I mean, this is what I'm saying is, as I read it, this is the most powerful stuff in the world. I realized that, now I get, when I've listened to Dave talk so much, why he is so powerful. Like, he literally gave us years and years of what he's learned in a day to us. That's nuts. I mean, we got it on a silver platter, and it's going to be available soon to Empower Network. And so I have no idea what the price point's going to be, but it's so cool. We learned all this stuff, and you have a workbook that you can use to just continue to formulate this stuff so that you learn how to actually not only talk like this and write like this, but think like this for yourself. So you can even reprogram yourself too. I saw that, guys. So the funny thing is like I'm talking in ways that I was taught this weekend already, and so that's why you see Landon and Thomas kind of snickering and laughing, because I'm using some of this stuff, where
actually Thomas is laughing because I unmuted my microphone just to fart, and then I muted up again.
Well, see, that's called a pattern interrupt, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, it gets people to pay attention.
Yeah, it does. And so that was the crazy thing about Friday, is that we were given all this homework and people were up late, and but it was so transformational. And here's the cool thing about it was there was a few people that walked by and they were like, screw this, I'm not doing this, and I'm not going to go through this process. And it was the people that were doing that. They're not the ones that were really, from what I saw, successful so far. Some of them I had conversations with, and they were still coming up to me telling me all the reasons why they weren't having success yet. And I was like, well, talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh my God, you know.
Mm.
But you know, that's just what happened. And so, you know, I sat down, and I mentioned this with Jordan too, you know, just to like bounce it off of him, and he agreed. You know, there was a few people sitting there, and I said to him, you know, there's a famous quote. T.I. actually says this in one of his songs, and I remember it, the rapper T.I. And he says, you know, a lot of you are not happy where you're at in life, yet you party every weekend. Exactly what are you celebrating? What are you celebrating?
Exactly. Man.
So, you know, I said that to these few people that were like, I'm not going to fill out this packet. This is crazy. He's going to let us in tomorrow. You know how he is. And I said that to them, and they were like, I was like, now, I understand it's Miami. If you're not from here, that's one good reason to celebrate. But this is life transformative stuff. And if you don't do this tonight, you're not going to be able to get half as what you're going to be able to get tomorrow. Okay? Because you need to go through this in order to then, you know, be briefed on it and go through the exercises, live demonstrations with other people. Because we paired up and we were going around the room and actually practicing these different language patterns to people. And I'll tell you what, some of this stuff was hilarious because I didn't get all of them down, but I got most of them down. And it's like the things that people would say, we would get off topic. You know, we were practicing our marketing. You know, when would be best time to click the link below? You know, but then some people would get into crazy stuff and, you know, suggestive stuff, and we were having all kinds of fun with it. It was hilarious. But you realize how influential and powerful these loops are that you can use, and you can use it with anything in life, you know, so you can use this to
pick up
influence
chicks.
People.
Just throwing it out there.
And ladies, pick up guys.
Or chicks.
Speaking of ladies, where is Amy? I sent her the invites. I'm going to send her another invite. I wonder if she woke up.
Well, she might be sleeping. She might be exhausted from Ireland.
It just doesn't
you know?
feel the same here without Amy out.
No, it is definitely you know, it's definitely
feels like Brokeback Mountain. So.
Right. You know, man, I had a whole thought going on. It's like the Brokeback. I caught that.
Did he say that?
He
really
did say that.
didn't he?
Yes, and men, if you want to use it to pick up men, that's entirely up to you. You can use these persuasion patterns however you choose, but just be aware of how powerful they are.
Well, it really
They're crazy.
is. I mean, the funny thing is that I started to realize that a lot of movies and certain, you know, media outlets use a lot of this as well, very, very carefully and covertly. I didn't realize. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or not, but the fact that I was able to recognize it now, I see it. Even if people are doing it naturally or doing it purposefully, I can see it and understand it now. So even just by the way someone speaks, just by hearing them for a short amount of time, I can know, okay, this person knows what they're doing and they know how to influence, and I can literally know whether or not they're going to be successful and influential in what they're doing just by listening to their language for a little while. I mean, this is monumental, so I'm not going to be the same. This is, wow. You know, I've been asking Dave for years, you know, and he's just like, oh, read these books. And I was like, dude, I don't have the time, you know. Now he finally distilled it all down into this simple packet that just says, hey, here's all the different type of languaging and phrases and patterns and frames that I use. Here you go. Have fun. And I was like, and now first off, it was like 40 of them. I was like, is that all?
Yeah. Actually, at first you were like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, you know that, Chris, I mean, that exact thing, you know, it was so cool listening to Dave talk that night as he was explaining to us what we had to go do and go through this packet. And he said, if you don't do this right now, you're not going to get back in tomorrow. And isn't that cool that I'm doing that to you? Because if I didn't do that to you, some of you wouldn't do what's necessary to actually... I came down to that conference this weekend. I didn't know what we were going to be learning there. Then on the airplane, Chris said we're going to be learning hypnotic language patterning and how to tell our story and whatnot. And I got a boner. I was excited instantly. It was amazing because, you know, the thing is, even on that Friday night, you know, Dave Sharp looked at me and he said, Jordan, you need to go to bed tonight. You need to not go out and party. I said, dude, I am not partying tonight. I'm here to learn stuff tomorrow. And you know, for anyone who knows me or seen me at a live event before, you know damn well that I like to party till 7:30 in the morning, maybe going skinny dipping in the ocean and shit like that, which happened a couple nights. But anyways, it may or may not have happened. The thing is that the same thing here. Now take that over to what we're teaching you in business here. We've got a formula on our team site. We've got a step-by-step getting started guide on our team site, and we've got 8 core commitments in Empower Network. And we can plug you into things like the 15K formula, but ultimately it's you that has to do the work. We can give you access to all this stuff, and now a really good example of this is there's a person who, wow, I'm actually, that's amazing. I was thinking about you, and you just popped up on my screen. That's awesome. So there's a person in our team, and maybe it's you, and maybe you're doing this right now. And as soon as you hear what I'm about to share with you, you're going to decide to do something different with yourself, and you're going to say, that's what I need to do to become successful, and you're actually going to take the action steps that are necessary for you to become successful. This person had sent me some emails, and this happens. She's not the only one. There's guys that do it. There's lots of different people that I get emails all the time from people that I actually got an email the other day from someone saying, I'm on your team like 5 levels down, and I want to quit and rejoin you because I feel I'll be more successful if I'm coded right to you. And I said, you're absolutely couldn't be more wrong. Not only are you not getting the support that you feel you need from the person who sponsored you, but you're not going to get any kind of one-on-one support from me either. You're getting exactly what you need. You're just choosing not to listen to what we're telling you. And so I got an email from someone saying, and that's a really quick note, guys. You're plugged in here. I don't care if you're 15 levels down from Chris or right under Chris or me or Landon or Thomas or Amy or whoever you're coded to. You're coded to the right person. I get emails from people all the time saying, I think I joined the wrong person in your team. I'd like to rejoin with someone else. You don't need to. Stop being, listen to what we're saying here. Everything that is needed for you to succeed is right there. All the training you have access to, it's a matter of you actually taking that training and learning it first off, but then turning around and implementing it. And now this person had contacted me and said, I'm really struggling here. I don't know why I'm not having success. Can you tell me, are my blog posts good? Are my videos okay? Are my emails good? They asked me all these questions, and I said, let me just ask you this. Have you gone through the training in the 15K formula that teaches you videos, emails, blog posts? Have you gone through those trainings and began implementing what you learn inside of there? And they said, no, I haven't. I said, okay, and so you're coming to me, someone who's making $10,000 a month, to learn what someone who's making $140,000 a month is teaching inside the training product that you paid $1,000 for. And so some of you have access to these trainings. You have access to the master's course. You have access to the Costa Rica Intensive. You have access to all the training on our team site. You have access to the same 8 core commitment worksheet fill-out thing every day that we do, the same things that Landon does, the same things that Thomas does, the same thing Amy does, Chris does, I do, the same thing Laura Parrish does on a daily basis. You have access to all the same information, and it's just a simple fact of all you have to do is decide that you're going to start going through that information and implementing it. Right, and implementing it and taking action, and then you can start having success like you've never had before. So the question isn't, do we have some secret that you don't have? The question is, have you actually paid attention to what the fuck you paid money for, and have you started implementing what you're learning? And Landon, let me ask you this, man, and maybe you can go off on this a little bit. And you're someone who just does this just amazingly. Like, you learn something and you implement it right away. Like, you don't even waste time. Like, I watch you learning new hypnotic language patterns every day, and I see your new videos come out every day, and you've got new embedded commands telling people to join now, or telling people to pay attention to the sound of my voice, or telling someone that maybe the bottom of your foot is starting to tingle right now because I just told you that it was. And maybe you got butterflies in your stomach because you're thinking about clicking that Join Team BTC Now button, and you're going to pull out your credit card and get started right now. And those butterflies are a good thing because that means you're excited about what you're about to do and how you're going to change your life. So Landon will say stuff like this,
gangster, man.
And you're like, oh my God. But the thing is, Landon, when you implement it, at first it's kind of like you have to force it out, or
at first you have to consciously do it. Like I have to write it down before I do it. I have to consciously, and it is confusing at first, but then once you start doing it, just unconsciously flows out as you listen to me speak tonight,
Exactly, like he's doing right now. Like you may realize right now is Landon just spits jib all day, and it's mostly hypnotic language patterns now. Yeah. Whereas if you were paying attention to him 4 weeks ago, you'd be like, man, This
Yeah,
guy
you
is
may-
boring as fuck.
You may or may not realize you may or may not realize consciously what Landon was saying, but unconsciously you just felt the uncontrollable urge to upgrade and get all in all the way, and also if you haven't gotten in yet to join. So and that can happen right now, or that can happen in just a couple minutes when you take a breath and feel good about joining and clicking the link below.
Well, you know, and one of the things that's going to happen here tonight, folks, you know, we said we were going to teach you hypnotic language patterns, and we said we're going to go through this stuff, and we're going to be sharing with you how to speak hypnotically, how to influence people, how to make people decide to make decisions right now. But the thing that you may realize, like Chris said, unconsciously, is that you're learning these language patterns without even knowing it. And as you pay attention to what Landon's saying, what Thomas is saying, what Chris is saying, what I'm saying, and you listen to this audio, this video again and again and again, you can actually download the audio in the team's site. Once you get started with our team, you're going to have access to all that stuff, and that audio should be up tomorrow. You can listen to that again and again and again, and without us actually explaining what we're doing, you may realize that you start speaking more hypnotically and influencing people in ways that you never knew how to do before.
Well, I'm telling you what, like, I mean, you guys don't want us to get into the nitty gritty on this hangout. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, adverb or adjective modifiers and, you know, presupposition of existence and complex equivalence and shit like that. Okay, guys. So we're gonna give you the fun version of this and some of the stuff you can. You look at Thomas's face. Jordan, read the chat real quick. I mean, read our group chat. And oh my God, just it's like you guys. This stuff was like mind-blowing, but I'm telling you, you don't want us to sit here and give a dissertation on this stuff. And as a matter of fact,
go for it.
Here's okay, cool, yeah. What we're gonna do here, guys, is we need to get some female energy on here. So what I'm gonna do is this is something we normally don't do, but we're actually gonna bring in somebody from outside of the team just for a short time. You guys have heard her, you know, speaking up in the hangout. She's got some of her team on here tonight as well. She's helped us break 300 tonight. You know, the one, the only Laura Parrish. And so we're going to get her on here in just a second here. I'm going to get her an invite and get her on. And then I'm also going to get Angela on and get her take on a few things too, because she's understood some of these language patterns and was, you know, privy to it. She was actually at the Costa Rica Mastermind when it was being filmed. She was actually sitting there with me and a few other people in there. So she you know, she's privy to and understands and has heard some of this as well. And so we're going to have some fun here, get some female energy out here as well. So what I need real quick is Laura, you know, text me your email here so I can
You know, another thing I want to say too, folks, is those of you that are all in or decide to get all in tonight or tomorrow before the time period, you know, there's a way for you to get in touch with Andrea on the team site, the support tab under the resources tab. Let her know that you upgraded to all in, show her the receipt or what have you. We understand that, you know, the form that you got to fax into Empower Network might take a day or two, and so you might not be showing as all in, even though you've already paid the money and it's gone through and that form just needs to go through. Get in touch with Andrea on tomorrow night's hangout or tomorrow night's all-in call. We're going to be discussing more of these hypnotic language patterns and teaching you how to become more influential with people, as we're going to continue to do it week after week. You know, you're going to just become more powerful than you ever knew how to be before. You're going to become more hypnotic than you ever thought you were before, and you're going to start influencing people. And you know, the coolest thing about what we're doing here is Empower Network's mission right now. I was chatting with Dave, and he said, you know, I want, not only are we going to have the team with the most rich people on it, but we're going to have the most badass communicating hypnotic motherfuckers on the planet. And that's so cool, because it doesn't just apply to making money. You know, it applies to a lot of different areas of life. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be able to get a whole lot more ladies to want to dance with me because I know how to speak hypnotically. I'm going to have women start buying me drinks. You know, it's going to go the other way around. Type of thing. I'm going to tell them if they want to pick me up, they got to buy me drinks, but it's going to be in a different, you know, more hypnotic. And so we're going to be talking about that tomorrow night. So when you decide to get all in tonight, you're going to be able to access that call with us live tomorrow.
You know, that was interesting that actually Justin had just said in here, you know, he says this stuff they're doing is implementing emotional language of feeling followed with a command, or at least that it is what I'm seeing, you know, that we're doing here. Now, what's your take on that there, Jordan? You know, emotional language of feeling followed with a command. Do you think that's all we're really doing here?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's definitely part of it, you know. And the thing is, as soon as the product, this past weekend is going to turn into an actual product, folks. When you have the chance to buy it, you're going to want to do that right away, because this training that they're going to come out with here is, like I said at the beginning. If you were on here at the beginning, years ago, I was studying Dave Wood and following him and copying him, so I thought, modeling after him, so I thought, and the missing key, the missing link to what I was doing there was that I didn't understand actually how to persuade people, because I'd never studied it before. And if you don't study it, or you're not around it long enough, if you just listen to the Inner Circle and you listen to David Wood and you listen to this hangout again and again and again, you just all of a sudden start speaking more hypnotically without even understanding all the details of why it's happening. But that's part of it, Justin. That's part of it, man. You're going to learn a whole lot more when you buy the products.
Yeah.
And like I was talking to like Chris and Jordan before this, we were in like a Skype group or whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna be like so jealous of everyone, because I literally like have studied this stuff for like 3 or 4 hours a day for the last like month and a half, 2 months now, like buying every course, every book on it. And it's like now people are gonna be able to join and just have everything instantly, immediately, right now. That it's taken me months of studying and buying and just all this crazy stuff to learn what you're gonna have immediately, which is just.
You know, one of the things that I want to throw out there really quick, too, is some people are saying you guys are, like, hypnotizing people and making them do stuff against their will. And one of the biggest things that we learned, not only from Dave and Dave, but also from a hypnotist who was there live this weekend, he shared some specific stories, which I can't necessarily go into because, again, it's NDA stuff. But the thing is, if you don't really want to join our team right now, we can't literally force you into it. I literally cannot make you pull your credit card out and click that button down below and start filling out the form. I can't physically make you do that. If it's something that you already feel the need to do, though, and I suggest it in a hypnotic fashion, you know, by telling you to join right now and get started with our team so that you can have as much fun as we're having and live the kind of lifestyle we're living, and go hang out on big fucking boats in your flippy-floppies, you know, you can do some stuff like that, then you might feel the need to join. But if you don't want to, like if that's not something you want to do, we can't force you against your will, you know? So understand that what we're doing here is totally ethical, totally awesome, and it is the right thing to do to help people make a decision that they weren't quite ready to make because there was a little bit of resistance. There was something holding them back from living the lifestyle that they want to live. And if you can just help someone get past that, you know, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that someone years ago pushed me over the edge from being a fucking wussy to deciding to take action, get started in a business, because my life, well, Laura, we're going to have you talk in just a minute. Isn't life amazing now? I mean, aren't you glad that someone kind of hypnotized you and made you get started?
Beyond.
All right. Laura Parrish, everybody.
What happened to the hippie to the hip hop?
True gangster. I try to be gangster. She's the real gangster.
Looks like we lost our camera there for a minute. Looks like we're not having a good feed there.
Hold on, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, we just can't see you, or at least I can't.
No, there she's back. It clicks in and out sometimes.
Gangsta.
Gangster.
This weekend was badass. You guys missed a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell us your view of some of the shenanigans that we had going on this weekend.
Wow. Wow.
Only the non-NDA stuff.
Like, we almost got killed by the cab driver, but, you know, it was good times, man. Miami was hot in more ways than 10, and, you know, what I learned... I can't even talk because you guys won't stop laughing. Now,
I'm gonna mute up.
You know, everyone really, anyone who knows me, knows my story, knows that I really connect with Dave Sharp, and he really is like a mentor to me, and that's who I connect with because of our history. But, you know, I really connected with David Wood this weekend, and I needed that for my business. You know, a lot of times people look at leaders and say, oh, I'll never be like them, or I'll never do this, or I'll never understand like that, or I'll never get it, or whatever. But, you know, we're just like anybody else. We put our pants on the same way, and we need the same motivation and inspiration that anybody else needs, you know. So I really needed this weekend for myself to help, you know, inspire me, because I'm in a little bit of a lull right now. We're human. We're not always making $3 grand every single day. You know, there are days we don't make that much money. So it was a masterpiece. That's the word I'll use. It was a masterpiece for me to be invited there to be a part of it. It was amazing. Yeah, the linguistics framing. Yeah. I really didn't get it, you know. And I'm glad that at 5:48 in the morning, I said, I'm done. I got to sleep. Team No Sleep has to sleep, right? Because I couldn't do anymore. I had to put the book down and go to sleep. And I didn't get it done. But you know what was great? And I didn't get to personally work with Jordan, but I did get to personally work with Chris Rushlow, and the one and only Chris Rushlow. And because we were like kind of every 4 minutes we were, you know, alternating partners doing the linguistics framing, right? And because I was able to do it live, because I was there and able to do it live, I really understood what the point of what they were trying to do, about how you learn how to speak. And, you know, it's funny that what they said earlier was completely true, is you don't realize what these guys are doing until you get these special, specific mastermind trainings. Like, for example, like, I always just thought David Wood had 8 million stories, and he just always freaking forgot to tell the end of it, you know? Like, he would tell, like, 8 million stories and never finish one, you know, and then you'll learn that's on purpose, right? The way they speak is on purpose. Everything about these guys, it's complete genius, is on purpose. They're geniuses. And just to be in the presence of them and all the other amazing like-minded people is what I need for me personally and for my business. So it was amazing. Plus I like got myself some bling bling while I was down there. So it was a good time, man. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was. That was awesome down there. That was a fun time on Saturday afternoon when we were learning that stuff. I mean, we were cracking up, you know, with the different ways that you can take this stuff. You guys can really have a lot of fun with this. You guys really have no idea yet what you're going to get here. And a lot of you are like, well, just teach us. Just show us. You know, tell us exactly what you're talking about here. And the thing is, you know, we're playing around with some of it right now, and we're throwing some of it out. The cool part is some of you in the chat are picking up on it. You know, Angela was like, by the way, you know, someone would say something like, what did he say? And Angela's like, he just said an embedded command. Like, he just did it, you know. And so, you know, the thing is, here's the reality, guys. We want to teach you, and we want to be able to, you know, bestow this upon you. And honestly, it would be too boring to do on a Hangout, for one. But for two, and the other part about this is that they actually, and we didn't know this at the time. This is after we wrote the email copy. I'm just going to drop the bomb here. But after they wrote the email copy, after we said, hey, we're going to come back and tell you what we learned, and we learned a heck of a lot, but the specifics of this stuff is going to be in an Empower Network product, and we were required to sign a non-disclosure agreement for what we learned. And so what that means is the exact strategies with what we did, we're not allowed to actually disclose, but we can talk about the effects and results of it and what we do with it, but we can't necessarily teach these specific techniques. And we can throw a few things out there. We can throw one or two out there and stuff like that, but we can't, you know, rehash this in a course, but we can talk about it vaguely and ambiguously, just as we were taught to do. And you'll learn some tonight from it. And those of you who are on the all-in call tomorrow with our team, you'll learn even more tomorrow. But the reality is that we can't get into as much as, you know, training as you guys might want tonight, because that product's going to be available soon for everybody in Empower Network. And the cool part is you're going to see, you know, the people that were there, you're going to see some of the stories we've been telling you tonight. You're going to see that on camera. You're going to see that happened. You're going to see that this stuff really took place, and you're going to be able to, how cool that's going to be. You're going to be able to sit there and watch that and know, like, oh my God, Chris and Jordan and Laura, they were all telling me about what happened here, and now I'm watching this on video now. You know, like, how hilarious is this? I knew about this, you know, a month ago. You know, how cool is that? So, you know, the thing about this is that nobody, guys, nobody has ever taught anything like this in Empower, in anywhere, in any marketing course, in any internet marketing course you've ever found. I don't care. Most copywriters do not know this information. And I'm talking about copywriters that get literally, you know, they'll get 20 grand a sales letter. You know, they know how to write with the written word. They've mastered the written word. But I'm telling you, the speaking language patterns, where you understand, you know, tonality, where you understand embedded commands, you understand spacing, you understand framing, you understand pacing, you understand all these things, that you can't do that in a sales letter. You can do it to a degree, but you can't do it how you speak. And I'm telling you, even copywriters that get paid 20 grand per sales letter don't know this stuff. No one has ever taught this stuff, and it's going to be available exclusively to Empower Network. Now, I don't know about you, but if you're not, either completely, stoked out of your mind or so excited you can barely, sit down, then, something that I just got to check to make sure if you're brain dead or not. Like grab a mirror and put it next to your mouth and see if it fogs up, because I'm telling you, that's just a check there to make sure you're still alive. Because if you got half a brain cell left, what you just heard, this is the most powerful stuff. So
I've got half a brain cell left.
Well, I wanted to pull my credit card out and join again. I was just like, I was floored. I was floored at what I learned. I was like, holy.
Yeah.
They're so on purpose with everything. It's amazing.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've bought so many books, read so many books, and have everything all in one place. There's huge value in that. And I spent so much money trying to learn it to not even near as good of a degree as what these guys know now.
Do you notice a difference from last week till this week, Landon?
Oh wow, it's amazing. Even in your writing, I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Did you see the 2 emails I sent over your way?
I haven't read the first email yet, but I did read the good email that you sent. And I was like, this is just nasty.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. If only I could start farting in my emails.
But you can just type oops, just farted. Now onwards.
Dude, me and Aki literally shot a video on the back of the boat, and the first 10 seconds of the video was me farting really loud, and it's hilarious because it actually just throws people completely off. And they don't even know what's going on. And then they're like, and then Aki started talking about, oh my goodness, I don't know how X-rated we want to get here tonight, but let's just say, I'm going to give you a little example of what we said, and I'm just going to say, because you like girls instead of the X-rated version of that, because you like girls and fast cars, you need to get started with Empower Network right now so you can make a lot of money, because girls are attracted to guys with fast cars and lots of money. And that's why you should get started right now. How many hypnotic language patterns were in that sentence? Oh my goodness.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Now, I've got a whole funnel coming. Oh, all right. See,
Look
girls are instantly attracted to me talking about money and fast cars. I'm talking about girls and fucking money and fast cars, and here we go with another.
See what happens? See, Jordan just starts speaking about this stuff about girls, and all of a sudden they just keep popping up on the Hangout. How cool is that?
Yes.
Angela, how we doing? Okay, you need to unmute yourself.
And you're extremely white,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
how you
now it's
doing?
working now.
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good. Are you enjoying all of the embedded commands and language patterning tonight?
I am. I can completely see what you guys are doing. It's awesome to watch. Every other second, there's an embedded command.
I have a wonderful example. Since everyone's laughing, I'll take a moment to share this example. So Chris Rushmore, right, on the bus on the way to the yacht, did an embedded command without even realizing it. He said, and I'm not going to use exactly what he said because that really wouldn't be appropriate, but he said...
Well, Laura, just to let you know, you can actually get really inappropriate here because my dad the other week called everyone on the Hangout a fucking pussy. So you can actually get pretty inappropriate if you'd like to.
It's pretty tough to offend anyone around here.
I mean, maybe. Okay. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to say, live or whatever. Anyway, so on the bus on the way to the yacht, because as he told you earlier... I don't let anybody sleep. It was 5:30 in the morning. He's like, I'm tired. I'm like, don't be a wussy. We don't sleep here. And he's like, dude, whatever. So he was really tired on the yacht, right? So on the way to the yacht, he said, if you see me curled up in the corner of the yacht taking a nap, don't draw a dick on my forehead, right? That's what he said. So that's like an embedded command because he embedded that into my head. So that's what he did when he fell asleep on the yacht.
I really didn't mean to do it. I was
You never tell people don't do something.
He was subconsciously, he didn't even realize what he had done when he said it. But that is an embedded command. So when he fell asleep, I was like, I told my sponsor, because I took my sponsor with me, right, for the weekend. I said, shit, he's asleep. I want to get the pin. And here I go to get the pin, right? And, of course, our good friend Travis, who was running everything with Empower Network, he's awesome, right? He, like, texted him, didn't even know it until, like, an hour later, and was like, dude, wake up. TNS is getting ready to draw shit on your head, right?
He did, too.
I was like, dude. I was like, why did you do it?
Remind me never to let him in on the secrets.
I told Travis, I said, the only reason I was going to do it is because he did it to himself. Like, he said it in a command. That's what he said. That's the only reason I was doing it. I wasn't doing it just to do it. I was doing it because it was a command. He's like, and Travis
Jordan was talking about that earlier.
Travis was like, had I known he said that it was embedded command, I wouldn't have forewarned him. But yeah, so I didn't get to draw on his forehead. But it's just a perfect example because he totally said that, and I was totally going to do it, but he woke up too soon. So.
Well, someone had said that to me just like 10 or 15 minutes earlier. Like, I don't know who it was, but I think it was, somebody said it, and I was like, there's no way that's going to happen. Like, someone walked by and was like, I'm going to draw a penis on your forehead. And I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And so I guess I didn't realize.
Draw a penis on Chris's forehead next time you see him.
I guess.
Even if you feel the urge.
Yeah, I guess that when I said it again, I didn't realize that all the people around me didn't hear that first time someone said it to me, and I somehow assumed they were all around and heard it, which is why I was like, don't do it. But then what I realized is no one else had heard that when I said it. They hadn't heard it before, so it really was an embedded command. I was literally like screwing myself, completely.
It's bad times. Like if I were to tell you right now, like, do not fart right now. Some of you that are watching literally just farted right now. Kind of before, like when I was telling Landon about picking your nose, all of a sudden, like his hand just started, like he was like, "Holy cow!"
He was levitating.
His hand just like moved up and like went right into his nose.
So like, don't buy right now.
Oh my God! Why did I totally forget about this until now, guys? Jordan, Laura, do you remember the dumb shit that Dave did to himself that he told about on I think it was Saturday? She remembered too, just by me saying that. That's all it took. Oh my God, who wants to tell? I am giving David Wood shit for this for the rest of his existence on this planet.
And let me just say that it's pretty much one of the stupidest things I've ever heard someone doing to themselves on purpose. And the only way you're ever going to find out about it is when you buy the product when it comes out.
Oh, come on, man.
Well,
no,
I mean,
dude, we can't tell. You know what I'm saying? We can't.
Oh my God. I mean, this is, oh my God, I almost fell out of my chair. Like, how could someone do something that stupid to themselves?
But I like Friday night, and okay, so that was one for, chalk one up for Wood, okay, because he did that to himself, but let's talk about Friday night when Wood wasn't there yet, and Sharp just had to come up with 3 hours off the cuff, and we were just talking about everything, and he was talking about his phone and what he was trying to do with his phone, and it was like...
Who's getting your handle this right now?
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, this one I am going to share the secret. Here's one of the secrets, folks. And Chris, that one guy on your team, he actually did this with his wife, Chris Hunt, I believe. Yeah, he did this with his wife. Maybe in more ways than one, but we're just going to say, for the sake of this, one of the secrets is exposing yourself, is really getting naked and exposing yourself and getting down to the core and then getting all in, because it feels so good to get all in. Once you've exposed yourself, then you can get all in, and that's when things really start to get exciting in your business. That's the secret. Only Laura knows what I'm talking about, perhaps.
Because they weren't there, so they don't understand. They don't understand. You guys have to buy the product, I swear. And let me tell you something. I don't know. Okay, all right. I mean, Chris is I'm one of the leaders. There's leaders on this call, right? And we don't know. We don't know how much they're going to sell this product for. It could be $500. It could be $5,000. We don't know how much they're going to sell it for. Okay?
I think they should sell it for $25,000.
But I can promise you one thing. I don't give a rip how much they sell it for, and I was there. I will buy it, okay? And I was there. I lived it live. I will buy it, okay? Not even just because I could resell it and make money off of it, because it was epic. I mean, That's all there is to it. You have to buy, like, my card. My card's levitating. I'm, like, ready to buy again. I want to join again. I mean, it's just unbelievable. This business is unbelievable.
Well, Laura, when you feel the need to buy now and join again, make sure my username's on the back end of that link before you do that.
No, better yet, Laura, don't join again unless you want to join with me with my join away.
Well, you know, Laura, it was so interesting.
Because I hear Chris's voice, okay, it is resonating with me. That should I come across another Empower Network link and see the Join Now button as it throbs below the video.
All right.
Oh, my God. Hey, Laura, I told Dave what you said Sunday night, or it was
no,
like
but
Monday
David Wood said that in the video he did with me.
Oh,
I know,
nice.
and then I told him the inside joke that we were talking about that on Saturday during the day,
right.
And then I told him how much you had to hold back from just busting a gut when he said it on video, when he said the same thing, like how one word like that is not really used in any context except one comes up twice.
Yeah, guys, basically what we're talking about here, and I can't tell you everything because you got to buy the stuff, right? But this is a video I did, okay? So, like, I've never done a video with David Wood, believe it or not, and the entire time I've been in Power Network and all the success I've had, I've never had a picture with him or done a video with him. So, like, I went up, because there's always, like, 8 million people surrounding David Wood, the infamous David Wood, so I was kind of standing in the back, and he actually pointed me out, and he said, Laura Parrish, you're extraordinary, you're changing people's lives, come here and give me a hug. You know, and he kind of like told her, it was like the Red Sea parting, you know what I'm saying? It was like the Red Sea parting, and I like walked through, and he gave me a hug, and I was like, you know, I haven't had a picture. We did a picture, and I was like, I haven't had a video, so he's like, let's do this video. So as we were doing the video, and I introduced him, he starts talking. He said that. He's like, and as you see the button below this video throbbing, and I almost like fell off where I was sitting because Chris and I had just, and Peter Sorensen too, had just, like, in our linguistics framing the day before, used that because of what Sharp was saying about, you know, the naked truth and da-da-da-da. I mean, it just all tied in, and, you know, everything happens for a reason, but it was hilarious, and I almost fell off when he said that, and like Chris said, he didn't.
Was he talking about the naked truth? I thought he was talking about naked strippers.
No. You see, Sorensen was trying to weave in, you know, sexual connotations all the time.
Nasty.
And so he said the word, you know, something about throbbing in his whole embedded command thing or something, right? And we were like, oh, Sorensen, come on, you know, like, what the heck, you know? And then that's when Dave said it the next day. He's like, the link, you know, the join button below, throbbing, you know, and we're like, oh
nice.
My God.
Well, Laura, I just want to say that you may not want to watch the video that I'm going to put out in the next few days. You may not want to watch that because it's far beyond anything that you heard in that room.
Hey, Jordan, is there something that I need to know? Did you take a video of something I don't know you took a video of? Come on now, tell me.
Well, of course I took a video of something that you don't know about it, and it was me and Aki.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, no, I don't need to see that.
No, not skinny dipping in the ocean. Not that. This was live on the boat with our clothes on. But in your mind, you can think about what we're saying, and you start envisioning things that you may or may not want to envision.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you give us a little bit more about what that video was about?
Can I say the 4 words, Chris? Yes, I can. Actually, I can physically say them, and I'm going to. So, well, we talked about a few different things. First off, a lot about farting. We talked about weenies are delicious. We talked a lot about vagina. And we also may or may not have talked about pooping all over your leg.
And isn't it great that here at Team Be the Change we can have these open forum hangouts and that we can not be offended by what anybody says, and everyone can feel free to speak the way that they want to, how they want to, with cursing or not, and any other indirect suggestions, and be okay with it. Because we all like to, you know, support each other in their path.
Well, I got to tell you, there's nothing quite as fun as talking about someone pooping on themselves in a video that's going to make money. While you're on a boat in your flip-flops with a cocktail in your hand. eating delicious weenies. It's just
I don't know, I think-
an amazing experience all around.
I think maybe we should talk about ice cream. What do you think, Chris?
I love ice cream. Laura, if you want to talk about that, go for it.
What do you think, Chris? What about ice cream?
You know, that we might be able to talk about that.
We sound like girls at a slumber party.
Yeah, because David
Wait.
would really like that, you know.
Hold on a
so-
second. Let me just get this straight. So all these years, I've never known that girls talk about shitting on themselves at slumber parties.
That's
Let's
the
get
real
that straight
secret.
here.
Trying to take it like to a next level. I'm trying to talk about taking massive action and the definition. What's definitive about that? So
Well, only once you expose yourself should you take massive action and go all in.
I love it.
Thanks, Joe.
He never-
Appreciate it, Joe.
He never stops, for real. No, but seriously, no. If you don't mind, I'll share because I think it's cool.
Go right ahead.
So, like, I have this analogy thing. I'm all about analogies. And I'll talk about ice cream because I love ice cream. Like, who doesn't like ice cream? And it was, like, sweltering hot, sweat pouring down our bodies, in Miami. It was amazing. So I really wanted ice cream this weekend. So when we were on the yacht doing lots of videos and stuff like that, I use this analogy. And it's really great because for those of you who aren't in Empower Network yet or are watching this and, just some people say, what does it mean to take massive action? Like, what are you guys saying? Like, you say, join now, make the decision, join now, right? And then take massive action, but what is taking massive action? I don't get it, okay? So I kind of like break it down with this analogy, right? So I love ice cream, Before you even eat ice cream, when you make the decision that you really want some, what do you feel like? What are your feelings? Like, I can taste the flavor of my favorite ice cream on my tongue. I know what it feels like, the cold going down my throat and how it sits in my stomach, right? So that really makes me want to get ice cream. But what do I have to do to get it? Like, aren't there certain steps that you have to take to get your ice cream? Like, I would have to get out of my chair, go to my freezer, get out the tub of ice cream, take the lid off, get a scoop, get a bowl, scoop it into the bowl, put the scoop in the sink, put the lid back on the ice cream, put the ice cream back in the freezer, get a spoon from my bowl, and then come sit back down. So how many steps were in that process? That was a lot of work, and it doesn't sound like it because subconsciously we want a bowl of ice cream. We can get our ass up and go get a bowl of ice cream, but you don't think about every single little thing that you have to do to make things happen, to come into fruition what you really want. So I can make a decision about getting ice cream all day long, but until I get my ass up and take the action steps to get that bowl of ice cream, it's not going to happen, and it's no different with this business. Now, we can decide we want to change our lives. We can decide that we want to live on the beaches of the world and give our kids the things that we want to give our kids and buy the things that we want to buy and just do whatever we want in life. But making a decision and taking the action steps necessary to make that decision come to pass are two completely separate things. And that's what we talk about when we talk about, are you an average person or are you an extraordinary person, right? We're extraordinary people because we took the massive action or those action steps to make into fruition the things that we have decided that we want. So when we say take massive action, you can click the button and you can join, but don't think you can sit in front of your computer for 15 minutes a day and money's going to fall in your lap like a money tree, because it just doesn't work that way. And so many people have that, misconception about working at home. The thing about working at home is you get to be with your family, be with your kids, don't have a boss, you can take vacation when you want to take vacation, work when you want or when you don't, and you can make as much or as little money as you want. That's the benefit of working from home, but you still have to work. Okay, so if you want to be extraordinary, you can, anybody can, but you still have to take the action steps. So I think it's really important that people understand the definition of what taking massive action means, and that's how I break it down. And people get that. They're like, or you can use anything. Eating a bowl of Cheerios is the same thing. What do you got to do to get a bowl of Cheerios? Anything in your life, you can relate to it. So I think that really helps people understand what taking massive action means.
And then, as she got done talking about that ice cream analogy, and we're sitting there, she's sitting right next to Dave Wood, and Dave Wood's sitting directly across from me, and he turns to me and he goes, I really want some ice cream now.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness, that's freaking awesome.
So Angela, how are you liking all these embedded commands and all this stuff tonight?
It's awesome. I mean, with the ice cream story, even then, you're sitting there visualizing wanting ice cream. So I think everybody wants ice cream now.
So now everyone wants to get up and get in and take massive action.
Everyone wants to take action. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
everybody.
By clicking the throbbing button below this video.
Oh God.
And as you stare at that throbbing button, you start to get more and more excited because you know once you click on that throbbing button and get all in and take massive action, it's just going to feel so damn good.
And as your heart begins to race and your blood pressure rises as you become more excited.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep going through this stuff and this workbook. I'm gonna master this stuff because I know this stuff is the type of thing that you can change the world with, you know. But you know this is the awesome thing is that you know you can have a lot of fun with this, guys. As you can see, we're having fun with this. A lot of you might be like, you know, I've never been exposed to anything like this. You're going, what are they laughing about? You know, and the fact is like there's multiple things going on in everything we laugh about here that is so on purpose it's ridiculous, and it's like it really is easy once you actually get it down. Like it's a lot to learn, but once you learn it, it's like wow, you know, it's like a total part of you. You're rewiring your mind. So, you know, and that was the funny thing is like, you know, the funny stuff how much fun you can have with this. Just like she was talking about the ice cream analogy, and then Dave's looking at me and he's like, I really want some ice cream now, you know. It was like, okay.
Chad is eating ice cream right now.
So she said all that.
And two women said they need to take a cold shower.
See, now you guys are now you realize here that you know here's the thing what you guys got to get from that, right? So Laura told this whole analogy. And, you know, there's a lesson in that. And for those that want to choose to listen to it and understand it and the point in the metaphor that she's talking about, it works and it makes sense. But look at the result of what it did even with David Wood. Like, David Wood does not, just because you know this stuff doesn't mean that you're an exception to the rule to being suggested about what frames and what pictures show up in your head and what feelings you associate with them. And so what happened is, from that, Dave wanted ice cream. And so if you think about it, he said that on purpose because if you look at, I remember Dave talking about this with his videos. So many of his videos, and you know we can talk about this all day long. Even Thomas used to refer to it how, you know, am I really gonna have to get on a webinar and listen to Dave ramble about nothing for 3 hours, and then all of a sudden I want to join his primary company or you know buy what he's selling. And the reality is that because he would talk about funny stuff randomly, and the indirect things he was talking about, which in Laura's case was the ice cream, okay, was the actual thing that was being suggested to you, and the indirect thing was buying now, joining, and you know getting started, and you know that kind of thing. Jordan. And so
it can be done. So, it can be done. We can have the thing on a timed thing and switch from regular image to .gif image where it's
nice, real nice.
The JFBB button. I like the JFBB button.
So this is how powerful this is, guys.
That's the new button.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah. That's all right.
It's like
that was great. That was great. Yeah,
that is funny.
And that was true too. Like, who said it? Was that Sharp that said that night? The new button name.
I think Laura made that up because she's just gangster, but you know.
She is gangster.
I think it was a mastermind combination of multiple people. I think it was the
like,
JFB button.
Dave was like, just buy, but remember the table that I was sitting at with the lady and he kept busting on her?
Oh, yeah.
Said,
the one that wanted to get naked?
Talking about the Chinese guy with the little penis, right?
Yep.
and I said, what the fuck? And he like stopped and looked at me.
Yes, there may or may not have been a Chinese guy with a little penis at the event.
and Dave Sharp may or may not have been talking about him. Excuse me.
In front of
directly or indirectly. Oh my goodness.
That's funny. That's funny.
Well, you know, one of the things me and Dave Wood were actually getting off the yacht and we were walking back over to the buses. And you know, I was sharing the story with him about some of the stuff that Aki and I were talking about in the video, and he said, "You know what? I think it's just so badass that it's so funny because the thousands and thousands of other companies out there, there's not a single one of them that would be teaching their people to talk about penises and vaginas and throbbing buttons and just needing to buy right now after you hear us talk about ice cream and getting hot and bothered and going and taking a cold shower. And it's just so cool that around here you can just literally be yourself, have so much fun, talk about shit that no one else will talk about, and yet for some reason all these people that are watching it and paying attention for what we're going on like 2.5 hours now, or 2 hours, or I don't even know what time it is and when we started. But the people that are here that have been here for hours and hours, even with all us just talking about stupid shit, you still want to get started right now because you realize that it's just so much fun to talk about stupid shit and make a whole lot of money at the same time.
Yes. Now the thing is, guys, pay attention to how you feel and what you're thinking about after that happens. You may want to just pay attention to that, because in all of that there were commands there that you can learn from that help you make a decision in things. And so what Jordan just did is something that I'm not gonna go into. Well, that was the lost performative with an abject modifier, mind read conversational postulate. I'm not gonna say to you.
How did you just say to me? What did you call my mom?
Exactly. I was like, what? How do you even remember that? There was too much to remember.
What did you say about my mama?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We had fun.
Thomas, what are you thinking over there, man? I just see you like grinning, smiling like a lost little sailor, and
Yeah, very much. I think I have to wake up my wife right now.
Oh wow!
Lot of
That's
thought.
what's up. See,
She's got
we're affecting and changing lives with every single word that we say.
Yeah.
We
I
just
feel like
changed someone's
yeah.
life.
Hey, I gotta tell you something, guys. This weekend altered my life. I promise you.
In more ways than 10, right, Laura?
Y'all just don't even know, all right? You don't know. Amazing isn't even the word for it. It was amazing. It was superior, magnificent, wonderful. It was a masterpiece. That's what I said earlier. It was a masterpiece.
This training will be the most monumental, groundbreaking training that sets a whole new paradigm shift for our industry. You guys do realize that, right? Like, this stuff hasn't even been brought out to most industries. It's sales and marketing, period. There's a little sub-niche of hypnotists and NLP people that understand some of this stuff, but I mean, no one who has mastered it like Dave that has applied it and used it and has the results to show for it. That's the crazy thing, is he has the results. He can back this up. And here's another thing, guys. A lot of you hear us say the hypnotic language. We say hypnotic and hypnotize, and there's something you need to understand. We can't hypnotize you into doing something that you don't want to do. Okay, if for some crazy reason, which is not going to happen, that we can get you into a trance, because we're not that good yet, to get you into a trance, to hypnotize you to do something. If it goes against your values, you won't do it. You'll snap out of your trance. Okay, this is not something that we can get you to do anything against your own will. People won't do it. This is not that type of thing. You may have been at a show where there was a stage hypnotist that brought people on and told them to go do crazy funny things, and you saw them go out and do crazy funny things that you never thought those people would do. And the reality is because those people wanted to be hypnotized and they wanted to go make a fool of themselves, and so being hypnotized, they allowed them to be hypnotized, and they had fun being able to feel free to go do that kind of thing because they trusted the person to tell them what to do. And the thing is, some people, it actually happened one time where a guy was hypnotized and he said, now I want you to act like you're a Chippendales dancer, and I want you to go out into the audience and go give that girl a lap dance and give her a kiss. And that guy jumped down off stage and he turned around and he looked at the guy and he said, no. And he went and sat and walked down, and he was out of the trance just like that. Just like that. And the reality is that it conflicted with his belief system and his values. Why? Because for one, he was married, and his daughter was in the audience. And so just so you guys know, you don't have to feel like, because here's the thing, you can talk about, there's a lot of religious, there's a lot of religions, and Christianity real big, that, they frown upon hypnosis, and, they're like, that's the devil, that you're just, you're being hypnotized to do bad things, and, the devil hypnotizes you, and funny shit like that, right? And so, we've got in our culture and in Western culture, we've got this presupposition, this belief that hypnosis is a bad thing and that people can somehow control you through hypnosis. And the reality is that they cannot, because if it goes in conflicts with your values, you can't do it. Like if there's a person who's just completely flat broke and they have no money whatsoever, not even enough to buy on their card, $25 to get started below and join, then the reality is that they might they know they don't have the money, they can't do it, they won't try. Like you can't get someone to part with their money that they don't have, or someone who knows that they have only $25 to spend. Yes. And they have to spend that $25, on something like, baby's diapers or something like that. That they're not going to do it. So don't think that we're here coercing people and manipulating people, because it's not about that at all. We're literally just reframing things in a way that people can look at it in a fresh perspective, which they can attach to images and feelings in their mind that make them feel good about doing what they're doing. That's what we do all day anyway.
I've got a suggestion, Chris. Speaking of people who do need to spend money on babies' diapers, you could actually go buy cloth diapers and wash the poop out of them yourself, save hundreds of dollars a month on baby diapers. You could actually get into not only the basic membership, but the Inner Circle, and probably also the Costa Rica, just on the money that you would save on baby diapers alone. And then within maybe just a few months, should you choose to take massive action, start making a lot of money with us, like you can do anytime you choose, you could actually just pay someone to clean the shit out of the diapers for you. You'd never have to do it again in your life.
And the other thing about that is that, if we're on that note real quick,
Angela's like, yep, that's right.
And the other thing about and the other thing about that is that, some people talk about, that if I don't want to join, I can't join because I don't have the money. And the reality is that, anybody can pull together at least $25 to get on the inside, because, people spend that on Starbucks every day. If you take, the average person spends $4 on Starbucks a day, which is freaking ridiculous, right? But if you take that 4 times 30, which is in a month, that's $120 right there that you saved. Add 5 to that, and that's your basic membership and your Inner Circle right there. So all you got to do is drink, coffee from home that you bought from a grocery store that costs you $5 a month, and rather than the $120 that's going to cost you at Starbucks, because it's just stupid to overpay for something like that and ridiculous. So that's another thing.
That's actually like a touchy subject for me. If y'all don't mind, let me throw my 2 cents in about the whole
baby diapers.
No, well, yeah, I got something going on too right now. But yeah, about the whole, people who say you shouldn't have to pay, right? Like, well, first off, and I'm gonna try not to get too gangsta, because this really does hit home for me. It really bothers me when people say that, because people don't even understand the ignorance, and that's not calling people stupid. There's a difference between being stupid and being ignorant, but people are ignorant to the fact that they spend money to go to their job outside of the home every single day. I mean, come on, think about it, guys, right? So, we Empower Network, $25 for the basic level, $19.95 for the affiliate, right? So for $44.95, you can make as much money as you want, right? So let's talk about your job that you supposedly think you get to go to for free every day. I'm sorry, but it doesn't work like that, because don't you have to put gas in your car, which with gas prices cost between $30 and $60 a week, right? And then let's talk about the fact that don't you have to eat lunch on your lunch breaks at your job outside the home, which costs about $30 a week on the cheap end, right? And what about the clothes that you have to wear to go to that job? Like, don't you have a wardrobe, whether it be a uniform or whether you have to wear a shirt and a tie that you have to buy, shoes, the whole nine? And let's think, if you have children and you have to put your children in daycare just so you can go to that job, you're looking at the upwards of $200 a week. So if you don't have kids, it's about $400 a month. If you do have kids, it's about $1,200 a month. So while you're spending your $400 to $1,200 a month to go to your outside the home job. I'm sitting here with the inner circle and the basic, paying $144.95 a month, making between $20,000 and $35,000 a month. Now we know the income disclaimer, right? Results are not typical because hey, we've already determined that we are not average people. We are extraordinary people because we know how to get off our ass and go get our bowl of ice cream, which I suggest you do the same. Right? But the bottom line is, don't come to me with that game of, oh, I shouldn't have to pay to have a job, because I hate to break it down to you, honey, but you pay to go to your job every day. And not only do you pay a hell of a lot more than we do. So that's the real deal on it. That's the real breakdown. That's how it works. So when you're done playing around with the job outside the home and you decide that you want to live the way we live and be able to go hang out on the beaches of the world and make as much money as you want, then you need to click that throbbing link below this video and sign up, right? Because that's the way it is. Period.
Preach it.
That was awesome. That was gangster.
Well,
Awesome.
Very.
See what happened was.
Oh
I'm
my
serious.
goodness.
That's just the truth.
Well, you
That's
know,
the
Laura,
goodness,
we
the
actually we just hired a full-time assistant like a month ago, Andrea, and she may or may not be watching this right now, but she's awesome. And one of the cool things that we got to do after talking to her, she was working a part-time job making, making the kind of money that people make working in jobs these days. And, the thing that we realized after talking with her was that more than half of her income was going to the fact that she had to pay to have someone watch her kids while she was working. So not only was she working all these hours outside the home for an unappreciative boss, but she didn't actually get to spend that time with her kids, and that was only bringing in not that much extra money a month because she had to pay for childcare and the to and from work and all the other stuff that goes on there. Now she gets to work a whole lot less, spend time with her kids all the time, be at home, and not pay for childcare anymore.
Exactly. A lot of people don't realize that, I mean, especially if you're a single parent, whether it be a mom or a dad, it doesn't matter. It's the same for either or. I mean, if you have to put your kids in daycare just so you can work, you generally have to have 2 to 3 jobs, because the first job and a half pays for the daycare. And then the other job and a half is what puts the food in the mouth, the clothes on the back, and the roof over the head. And then you see your kids 0, then you have a guilt complex because you feel horrible that you never get to see your kids, but you're busting your ass to do what you have to do to pay the bills so they have a roof over their head. So you're constantly in competition and combat and guilt-ridden with yourself about what you have to do to be able to live and provide for your children. And by golly, that is no way to live. That is no way to live. That is a miserable way to live.
Oh, that's so funny. James said, if you want to have more orgasms, then join now.
I read it the same time you did. I saw his face today.
Well, speaking of orgasms, I'm glad I didn't have kids when I was younger, only making $900 a month. I was going to say that I'm glad that I was really good at pulling out, because if I would have had a kid back then, I would not have been able to even afford childcare. I would have had to quit and work at home or live in my dad's basement and, basically, oh my goodness. Sorry. What did you guys just make me say? Oh man, dude! You know it's so funny. Someone said something to me the other day. I believe it was you, Laura. You said something on the bus, and then I went and I completely crossed over the line. And they said, you shouldn't even bring up topics like that if you don't want me to completely cross the line. Like, don't put something in my head if you don't want it to go further. Because it just naturally does that. I can't help myself. It's just like, holy cow, did I just say that? There's not a filter from here to here. Somehow magically, you guys don't even see the fucking shit of it on these hangouts. If you knew what went on in there, you might want to hang out with me a whole lot more.
Landon, are you having fun listening?
You guys can do
fun,
it in Denver. In Denver, we're going to be hanging out and having fun, and you guys can have a whole lot of fun with us if you log into your... Adrian Baines just got his ticket to Denver like today or yesterday, and he's been away for a little bit of time, but he saw what the hell's going on over here. He's like, man, I got to come back over there, guys. So he did. He also told me he's going to be getting all in soon, and he just got his ticket to Denver, so congratulations. Go get your ticket to Denver.
Denver's going to be great. Events will change. So I actually calculated my income from Chicago until now, and I calculated everything, and I made $19,000 total with Empower before Chicago. So in like 18 months, I made like 19 grand. In the last 6 weeks, I've made like 19,500 since Chicago. So I've made more money in 6 weeks than in 18 months because of the event, because of like the transformation. And some people will be like, well, how can you tell that it's like from the event that everything changed? Because when you transform, your income transforms. Always. That's how it works. And so get to the event in Denver. And like some people be like, well, I don't have the money. It's like you can't afford not to go to Denver. I would still be barely surviving had I not went to Chicago.
Yep. That's
You couldn't afford to get to Chicago, could you, Landon? It was pretty tough getting to Chicago, wasn't it?
It actually was. I was actually, like, Chris was like, you know, because I was on the phone with Chris, like, at the end of March, and he's like, you know, you need to get your ticket to the event or whatever in Chicago, and, like, I didn't have the money. I had to borrow the money from my parents just to buy my ticket to the event. And then all of a sudden, I went from that in March to over 10K in April. And, I mean, it's crazy because April was my first 10K month, and I had made, like, $3,000 in April before the event, and the event ended on the 21st. So I made, like, $3,000 in the first 3 weeks and, like, $7,000 in, like, the next, like, 10 days after the event. And I've never done anything like that before. And it's all thanks to, like, the transformation that I had inside my mind, inside, like, my heart and my entire body that happened. And that's what will happen to you in Denver. It'll change everything for you immediately, as you realize now that you're buying now. But,
and you'll probably get to take advantage of the event special offer for the product that's coming out. And it's probably going to be this one that we're talking about right now. The one that we went to last weekend. So you'll probably be able to get the event special because we always have event specials. If they're sold at the event, then there's a special. I remember that for those of you that went to the event in San Diego, and Landon got to take advantage of this, it was actually a $3,000 price. There's $500 off rather than $3,500 for the master's course.
Mm-hmm.
And then the commission was $2,500. So it was $500 down on the commission, but how many people actually bought that thing because they were at the event? It was a lot. Heck of a lot. And so, you know, there's probably going to be an event special like that again that happens. And
So true.
God.
You just caught that, didn't you?
There's going to be some event specials. There's no doubt about that. I mean,
oh yeah, it's going to be big this time around. I was talking with Dave about it, and I said, because I was like, Dave, I was like, man, what do I got to do?
Holy shit.
I missed something. What happened here?
None of your business.
I missed something too.
Did you miss that, Angela?
That's only
I missed
the
that.
stuff.
Everybody's laughing. I have no idea.
they won't even let me talk because
I think
That's just
yeah,
my head.
our mouth shut.
I think me and Angela are going to start having secret conversations now.
NDA. I signed multiple NDAs this weekend. Let me tell you.
If you guys would have been there this last weekend, then you would know what we are cracking up about right now.
Well,
That's why we
It's
missed
that-
it, Landon.
It's that deep, very deep stuff.
deep. All in type stuff.
Oh,
Massive action type stuff. That's what leads to the rock hard results, right?
I'm losing all semblance of understanding.
Okay. We got to stop laughing and start talking because we got to provide that.
We need to provide value. Okay.
No, but I got to tell you, this is funny too. Well, I mean, on a different note, but anyway, so like something cool I did today, right? Just so I can share, cool, right? I got my team on here too. I want everybody to get the value that's from this call. But something I did today, finally, is I no longer have a babysitter for my kids. I now officially have a full-time nanny, which is completely badass, right? So I got a like 40-hour work week person under me, right, to help take care of my kids, so I can focus on my business. The last thing I did before that was I hired a landscaper for our house. Before that, shoot, what did I do? Oh, I have a housekeeper now, which is like the best gift that a woman can give herself. I can promise you that. To do laundry and stuff like that. But you guys, I mean, it wasn't always like that, you know. I mean, it was little, and this is something Dave Sharp said in the breakout in Chicago to my team. He said, "Look at your sponsor, Laura. You know, she didn't come in and just boom, make it big, right? Everybody knows I'm new to this business. I've never done anything online, never been in direct sales, never internet marketing, nothing. Like completely new, completely no clue. What's a blog? I mean, hell, I was like, what's a blog, right? No clue. But he said, specifically, he said it was little victory after little victory after little victory after little victory, you know? Because that's just the way it worked for me. And it just is amazing to me that before Empower Network, right, I based every decision that I made on whether I could afford to do something or not. Does everyone see themselves doing that? If you guys who are not in Empower Network right now, when you make your decisions and you decide whether you're going to do something in life, whatever it may be, don't you make that decision based on whether you have the money to afford it or not? Because had you asked me, 6 months before San Diego happened, if I would pay to go to a San Diego conference, I'd be like, I can't afford no hotel or a plane ticket or who's going to watch my kids, or because I base every decision in my life on whether I can afford something. But the cool thing about Empower Network is it teaches you to change the way you think. So we talk about it as a blogging platform and marketing training, right? But what it really is like self-help. It teaches you to have some self-worth, to have some self-esteem, to change the way you think about yourself. And it was one of the leaders who said this, and this is great because we never make ourselves a priority. But the cool thing is when you make yourself a priority, you become a better person, a better friend, a better mother, a better brother, a better son, daughter. You become a better person. So let me ask you what another leader said once, which is, if you have children, or even if you don't have children, if you have someone very dear to you or close to you, and they were to get kidnapped, and the kidnapper called you and says, you've got 24 hours to come up with $5,000 ransom, right, to get your son, daughter, friend, whoever it is back. How many people out there would be able to come up with $5,000 like that? Like nothing, right? Because it's important to you. That your children are your life, or that person who's so important to you is your life, and there is nothing you wouldn't beg, borrow, steal, or whatever to get that money, to get that person back, because that's how important they are to you, right? There would be no question. There would be no doubt. There would be no second guessing. So let me ask you this. Why is this any different? Because it's not. Because your life, is your life not as important? Are you not as much of a priority? Absolutely you are, because you affect and you influence every single person around you, regardless of whether you think you do or not. You do. People watch you, people listen to you, and how about your children, right? You are just as important. You have to make yourself a priority. So if you could come up with it like that for any of that other situation, then you should come up with it like that for yourself, to change your life, to change your business. And that's the way I look at it. I mean, I make myself a priority because I know I'm worth it, and I know my family's worth it. So that's what people really need to do, is learn how to make themselves a priority.
That's awesome.
Boom.
Oh, damn. Did I leave you all speechless or something?
Well said.
Like, everybody's
Absorbing
just sitting
it.
there like, or did I sleep?
I just wanted to let that sink in, let everyone get that, let that marinate for a minute.
Oh, marinate. It's got to marinate?
It's got to marinate.
How long?
Exactly.
However long it takes for them to actually do it and understand that,
Yeah. It's the truth.
Well, that was real. That was real. Seriously, that was real. That was, yeah. And that's what it comes down to. It's that type of stuff. The biggest thing is that I see with people is that all you have to do is stop finding every reason why you shouldn't do this thing. Like, for some reason, most people come in, want to come into this, but yet they have every reason why they shouldn't, and got to find every excuse why they can't. And it's so funny that, I think all of us has been at that point at one point in our life, and I'll tell you that all that did was cause more pain and suffering, period. And so why do it? If you realized and knew how easy it is to actually just stop looking for reasons not to do stuff and start looking for reasons why to do it, you change your whole life like that. Your whole life. A lot of you don't even realize how different it would be, because every day is a series of programs you run in your head as to why you shouldn't do something. And instead of no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, a lot of people say, like, oh, I can't afford it. And rather than saying, I can't afford it, ask yourself, how can I afford it? Because it gets your mind thinking about how can you figure out a way. Because everybody has a way. Just like what Laura was saying about, if somebody kidnapped your little boy or your little girl and you needed to come up with $5,000 to get that person back, you would do it. You'd find a way. So there is always a way.
There is always a way. Absolutely. Totally. Always is. And it just comes down, that's why we talk, vaguely about, all you got to do is make a decision. When you make a decision, then that's it. It's that simple, because then you're going to find, if you really have made the decision, then you're really going to find what it takes to make it happen. Things will, just like I said, like one of our first hangouts, and it bears repeating now, and I don't know, everybody here has different beliefs, different backgrounds, different, frames of reference and circles of influence and religious or spiritual beliefs, but I will say this, and you can take this in any way that you want to and apply it to yours. When one is fully willing and totally committed, the gods join in and providence moves in your direction. And when you realize that if you make a real decision, the right people seem to show up in your life, the right circumstances seem to start happening, the right opportunities show up in front of you. And when that happens, it's time for you, you know that it's right, and you know that it's time to make a decision and go there, and that you're on the right track, and you need to keep going. So, it's that simple. It really is. But a lot of people just have this freaking stupid ass program in their head that says, I don't know why I can't do this. I don't know. Maybe this ain't right. That type of thing. And it's like, what? Try to find every reason why you can't. Like, that's the dumbest thing people can do. And it's so simple. If you only knew how powerful you are, you would start living your purpose right now. If you only knew how powerful you are, you would start doing your purpose right now. If you only knew how powerful you are, you would not settle for the bullshit that people tell you every single day about how you're supposed to do this business. So we sat here, we had a lot of fun on the Hangout tonight, and we got pretty crazy for a while, and we got to joke around and play with each other about the way that we talk and the way that we influence people. But the reality is, just the way Laura threw it out there, that, shit's got to get real at some point. Shit just got real. I mean, we're here and we're learning on how we want to do this thing, and we're telling you, yes, we've done this and we're doing it this way, and you can learn from us, and you can learn from the Training in Empower. You can learn from us on this Hangout, and we're here to show you. So why are you waiting? Why is it that you might consciously still be telling yourself, I don't know if I want to get started, or I don't know what's on, I don't know if I want to find out what's on the inside, versus or that you can just unconsciously have already made the decision to join and get started. Why are you consciously wrestling with that? Get out of your own way and realize that you've already made that decision anyway, and speed the process along, and you will be amazed at how different your life can be in such a short amount of time.
One of the things that you said right there, Chris, I remember I was listening to, and I think this was actually in Chicago, Tony Rush on stage, and he was talking about the fact that someone on his team someone on his team had said they were not, basically they hadn't decided yet whether or not they were going to Chicago. And this was like, I don't know, like a week, a month, I don't know when it was before the event. And his response to that was, so basically what you're telling me is you've decided not to go. If you haven't decided to do something, then you've already decided not to do it. It's really as simple as that. And so one way or the other, just make the decision, go with it. The best decision, the right decision, is to take the action that you feel you want to take, which is usually going to the events, getting all in, listening to what the leaders are saying to you, and doing what the leaders are telling you to do. And, one thing that I want, two little side notes. If you guys have questions about certain things like side issue stuff, non-technical questions, we have support on the team site. Stop emailing me. I'm getting like 7 or 8 emails a day from people asking me fucking questions or technical shit. Stop emailing me, because we have someone on the team site. We're talking the 4-hour work week here, and that's actually why we have a full-time assistant. That's why we pay someone to do that kind of stuff, so that we don't have to. And more importantly, because if I'm focusing on answering questions that you guys are asking me, then I can't focus on doing the fun stuff that we're doing and figuring out the crazy marketing stuff that we're figuring out, and the kind of stuff that Chris and the other leaders here and we discuss different things. Trust me, there's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline that if we had to deal with all the stuff that some of you think we should be dealing with on a daily basis, we wouldn't be doing the kind of stuff that's what's really allowing this team to succeed on such a high level, and why so many people in our team are having such amazing results is because we're able to do the things that we should be doing and not the things that we shouldn't be doing. So that's one thing I want to say. That just popped into my head. The other thing is, if you don't want to pay attention to us, if you don't want to pay attention to everything we're saying because you think that we're not entertaining or you don't enjoy it, get the fuck out of here. Seriously. You don't need to make comments about it. You don't need to talk about anything like that. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. What we're talking about is really what has helped us and allowed us to go from struggling in life to actually enjoy what we do for a living and enjoy our time. And actually, it's not even just about whether you're working from home or not working from home. The stuff that we're talking about has allowed me to go from literally not having a happy life to having a happy life. And it has nothing to do with the money. I mean, sure, being in Miami on a beach at 5:30 in the morning on a Tuesday or Thursday, I don't even know what day of the week it was, and it doesn't matter because I can do it any day I want. The money allows me to do that kind of stuff, but what allows you to be happy is just realizing that you can make a decision to be happy right now with your current circumstances no matter what's going on in your life. You know, if your girlfriend just broke up with you and you've been dating for 5 years and you're completely heartbroken, you can still decide to focus on all the stuff right now that makes you happy. If you just broke your leg and you're stuck in bed for 3 weeks, you can start to focus on all the stuff that makes you happy. If you're poor right now and you don't have money or you think you don't have money, then you can still focus on all the things that do make you happy. And I remember back in December this year, actually 6 months ago, and not a lot of people know this, but I remember back in December, if I were to focus on all the shit that was going wrong in my life, I would have literally sank myself into depression and probably had to move back home to my dad's basement. You know, not a lot of people know that. But I couldn't afford to pay rent. I couldn't afford to eat food. And it's so amazing. The reason I was talking about that steak so much last week is because 6 months ago I couldn't afford to eat food. Like I couldn't even afford to buy coffee or bread or nothing. And here I am going out for a $500 dinner. Just 6 months later. Why? Because I decided to focus on all the stuff back then that did make me happy, all the things that were going right in my life, and more importantly, I decided to go through the 15K formula, listen to Module 1, and focus on where I wanted to be in my life 90 days from now, 180 days from now, versus on where I was in or at in life. And you know what most people don't do? Most people don't focus on where they want to be. They focus on where they are. They think their circumstances are like everlasting. And what you got to realize is that what you're going through in life right now, it's literally temporary. Something just changed. Now we're in a different circumstance in life at that exact moment. And you might have just made a decision to do something different in your life. Your entire circumstances just changed. Like where you're going to be tomorrow is not where you are today. Like Laura, you know, it was so cool. Laura and I were talking, and she said, you know, there's some days where I have a $25 day. But what I realize is that tomorrow I may have an $1,800 day. And so it's okay for me to have days where I don't make money, even after having very successful days, because I know that over time it's going to average out and I'm going to have days where I make a lot of money. So again, circumstances are current, and when you focus on where you want to go versus all the shit that's holding you back in your life right now, which I shouldn't have even said because subconsciously now you're not focused on where you want to go. Focus on where you do want to go. Focus on all the good stuff in your life. Think about all the happy things you have, the gratitude, the things you have to be grateful for every single day. You know, I saw a picture on Facebook sometime in December, and it was this guy in Africa, and his feet were literally fucking decrepit, like completely mangled, and his shoes on his feet were made out of plastic Coke bottles and fucking rope, okay? So if you have a pair of shoes or a pair of flip-flops, even a pair of socks to keep your feet warm at night, you got to realize that you are far better off than certain people in the world. And when you start being grateful, even if your socks have holes in them, even if your shoes are falling out the bottom, you still should be grateful because you have certain things that other people don't have. I had a roof over my head in December, and even though I couldn't afford, to pay to have my garbage removed, they actually came and took the garbage cans away, and I had to call and go into debt to get my garbage cans back, and I could barely afford to pay for my rent, which I couldn't. I was actually 3 weeks late. My landlord was fucking pissed at me because I was only 2 months in the house. All that stuff that was going on back then, I wasn't focused on any of that. I said, hey, I've got a bed to sleep in every night. I'm working, 15, 16 hours a day on this business here. And in December, I look at my numbers. I made about $1,400 in December in Empower Network. Okay? I wasn't focused on that. That's not enough to get by. But in April, I made $8,200. In May, I made almost $11,000. And the bottom line is again, your circumstances are current. They're very temporary. They're going to change in a moment. Is just focus on where you want to go. I could keep rambling in circles right now, but I think you all get the point. So the other thing I do want to say is the fact that we were joking a ton, laughing, having fun and whatnot, also talking for hours and hours and hours on end. One thing I did learn this weekend is when you get people to a point of exhaustion, when you get them to a point where they literally start getting so tired, you take them into that subconscious state, the state between like awake and sleeping, to where they start to get hypnotized, they get into a trance more, and they look at that throbbing button down below and feel the need to click it right now just because I suggested it. So.
Oh my lands! You're so funny. It all comes full circle. It all comes full circle.
Back to the throbbing button.
No, but like the Team Be the Change. There's somebody on this call right now. Team Be the Change. You guys know who Brett Windman is, right? Everybody know who Brett is?
Oh yeah, I love Brett.
Yeah, I was just
That's my boy,
reading
right?
that.
And I gotta tell a little story about Brett. You guys will find this hilarious, right?
I
So.
love funny stories of Brett.
Oh my gosh. So we were in Chicago, and I don't know if you guys know who. I'm sure you do know who Christian Supreme is, right?
Oh yeah.
And he's always like doing the videos that says "believe," right? So I saw one of his videos a long time ago, and I was like, "Dude, that's badass." He's like, "I have to do a video with you. I have to do a video with you in Chicago. I don't care when." And I was like, "I'm gonna be busy." He's like, "I don't care." So Sunday night in Chicago at like, I don't know, 1:30 in the morning, I called him up. I'm like, "Dude, if you really want to do it, I'm available now." So he brought himself, Jason Jones, and Brett Windman over to the hotel in Chicago where I was at to do a video. And we did a badass video. It's on his page, whatever. And I like act all gangsta, because that's how I roll. And, he's like, "This bitch." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, that's me." But anyway, it was funny. We did this video, but after the video, some other people like were kind of congregating around, and this one guy, I don't know who he was. I don't even know that he's an Empower. I don't know. But anyway, he's like, and I had my hashtag Tina shirt and whatever. He was like, "So what does that pound sign mean on your shirt?" And we like almost all fell out, right? It was hilarious. And then he's like, "What does TNS mean?" I mean, like he just wasn't with the program, right? So Brett Windman, who I did not know from anyone, okay, said something that really like resonated with me. And when he said it, I don't even think he realized that he was saying it out loud. I think he meant to say it underneath his breath. But I heard him say it, and I stopped dead. And it's like 3 in the morning, right? I stopped dead, and I said, "I'm sorry, what'd you say?" But he said, and I know he's on this call watching right now, but he said,
Yeah.
He said, "Somebody needs to teach a course on how to speak to a 5-figure-a-month income earner." And I said, "What'd you say?" And he said, "No, man, I'm just saying somebody needs to come up with a course on how to speak to a 5-figure-a-month income earner." And it took me a second. I said, "Shit, he's talking about me."
Multiple.
No, and it changed me. No, seriously, guys, it changed me. And it changed the way that I think about myself, because Wood talks about me and Sharp, and I'm on the calls and Empowering and stuff, but I really don't look at myself certain ways. And it just goes to show that no matter how little you make or how much you think you make or whatever, where you feel like your place is in this business, everybody's listening, okay? Brett Windman changed the way that I think about myself. I talked about him for like 30 minutes to about 6 people at dinner on Saturday night before we all went out to do karaoke, right? And about how he made me think differently about myself, right? And as a result of that, him and I communicate a lot. I've even gotten on the phone with him, when he's making a big decision with his business and, his job, his JOB, which he still has. And he's doing videos now and has said to me specifically, I don't know if he said it out loud to public, but I know he specifically said to me that I've helped change his life, that I've helped him change his business because of the advice that I've given him, right? So that just goes to show that everybody's listening to each other. It doesn't matter whether you're a leader or what color lanyard you have. We are all the same. We all put our pants on the same way. We all love each other. It doesn't matter what team you are, even though I got to tell you, Team BTC, Be the Change, is the shit, okay? So click the throbbing button below to join. But
It is
I
kind of
tell
just
you, this community of Empower Network is exactly that. It's a community. We're a camaraderie. We're a movement, okay? And we are here to help empower each other and change lives. And so, Brett, just because you asked, and I know you wrote it down in the thread, he wants to see my bling. I bought some badass bling. I bought some badass bling when I was in Miami.
Nice.
Like, show me the bling. Show me the bling. I bought some
Oh,
bling.
baby.
I bling.
That's fucking
bling.
gangster
That's funny.
shit.
That's gangsta, I know, right? It's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
so there's the bling, Brett, so you can see it. And yes, I'll be wearing it in Denver, so you can see it then too. But yeah, Brett changed my life, because he helped me change the way I think about myself. So I appreciate him greatly, and he's a part of this team, and he's badass. He's badass.
He is badass, man. He's fucking,
He is gangster.
Laura, talking about, one of the, Brett, your the thing that you said to Laura right there, the one thing that I remember, this was so profound for me, and I don't remember where I heard it. I probably heard it multiple times, probably in the Inner Circle, and probably also at the Chicago event. I also heard it there a few times. But I remember Tony Rush talking about years ago he was involved in this company, and one day, I don't even know if he was I don't think he was a top earner in the company at that point in time. I don't think he was making all that much money in the company at that time. And one of the things that happened, and this has happened to me before, and maybe it's happened to you before as well, is you get invited by some leader in the company, maybe even the owners, basically some people that are making some fucking gangster money, and you go hang around with them, and all of a sudden you feel kind of like less than. And so he was there, and he was hanging out with these leaders all day at this like private pool, this private thing that not a lot of people knew about. I think there was less than 10 or 15 people there. And as he and his wife were getting up and leaving after being there all day long, hanging out with all these top money earners in the company, he said to his wife, he said, isn't that so cool? And she said, what? He said, we just got to hang out with these people all day. I can't believe that they more or less let us hang out with them. And she said, that is why, as long as you continue to believe that you're less than they are, you'll never be one of them. But here's the thing to realize, folks, is that, like Laura says, we all put our pants on the same way. I put mine on backwards sometimes, like a fucking idiot. Just the other day I was walking through the hotel lobby, and people were probably looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? All my clothes were like inside out and backwards, and there was like sand falling off. It was weird, but the thing is, if you just look at people and you realize that you're just like they are, maybe they've been going at it a little bit longer, maybe they have more success than you do right now. Maybe they've learned more than you have. Maybe they've bought more courses, gone through them, and actually implemented them. Maybe they've been around the industry a little bit longer. Maybe they understand a few things that you don't quite understand yet. But realize that you're exactly the same as everyone else, and no one here is anything special. Trust me, if you get around David Wood enough, you'll realize that you don't have to dress right. You don't have to smell good. You don't have to be that good looking. You can get hot women, you can make a lot of money, and you can still smell bad at the same time. It's freaking crazy. The cool thing is that every single one of you can do exactly what we do. But Brett, man, just realize, man, and anyone else listening there, that we're all the same people. And when you go sit down with Laura Parrish for lunch, it doesn't matter that she's making $40,000 a month and I'm only making $10,000 a month. Did I ever feel less than? Maybe at times when she was talking mad shit, but yeah.
Come on.
I know, no, I threw it right back. I threw it right back. But the point is, again, feel like they're your peers instantly, and it might take taking a deep breath and just kind of letting it all go, but just talk. It's kind of like my buddy was telling me. He used to live down in Maui, and a lot of very famous people go hang out on Maui. A lot of very famous people, and he was out back on the beach with his buddies one day, and they were sitting there smoking a joint. And out of nowhere, Willie Nelson came walking down and just sat down next to him and started smoking a joint with him. And they hung out for like 5 or 6 hours smoking joints with Willie Nelson and getting high and shit. And typically what people will do around someone famous is they make them feel like they shouldn't be out in public, like you're too cool for me type of thing. And what my buddy said is he's like, no, I just sat there, chilled, talked with him. We smoked a joint. We ended up talking not necessarily about his music or anything cool or anything necessarily. We just kind of hung out and shot the shit. And isn't that what people want to do anyway? The fact that Laura, that you're making, you've had a $40,000 month here, does that change the fact that you still want to go out, eat good food, have a good time, dance, karaoke, sing, and party with people no matter how much money they're making? You know what I'm saying? It's just realize that, guys. Everyone wants to go out and they don't want to feel like they're they don't want to feel like a leper because we're successful. Just be cool.
Yeah,
That's
man.
that was the other secret. Be a
It's
cool
true.
motherfucker.
You gotta be a cool motherfucker. I mean, that's what you got to do. That's how we roll.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
No, I mean, and Dave Sharp is so like spot on when he says that too. He's like, "Yo, you just got to be a cool motherfucker," you know? I mean, that's just
Absolutely.
It just rolled right off the tongue when he was talking. He was talking about how you got to be this way and this way, and how everything is just like this and like that. And then all of a sudden he's like, "And you know what? Sometimes it just comes down to being a cool motherfucker," you know? And everybody was like,
I love
"Wow."
Jordan. I love the fact that you told the story of what Jessica said to Tony, because that's one of the things that really resonates with me, because when I saw Dave Sharp on stage and tell his story about how he's recovering alcoholic and drug addict and all that, and he's younger than me, I really related to that story that Jessica and Tony had about, you know, as long as you think and look at those people as different than you, you'll never be one of them. Because so then I really started to look and said to myself, well, what the hell is so different between David Sharp and me? Nothing. You know, there's nothing. There's no difference except for the fact that he knows what he wants. He believes in himself. And he did what he had to do to be where he's at. And I said, you know, I can do that too. And something else Tony says that I really love and that people need to understand is, because he said to people when he was on stage and talking to the masses, he says, the only difference between me and you is a little bit of time and some experience, you know? So I've been doing this for a year, and I have a little experience now, but I didn't have any experience when I started. But he says the only difference between me and you is time and a little bit of experience. That's it, really. You know, but think about it, like right now, it's June, right? And I say this on some of my team calls. It's really important, I think, that, you know, people hate the holidays, right? For various reasons. We're not going to go in. That's a whole nother call, right? But like come Thanksgiving, people start to get depressed, right? Because what happens the day after Thanksgiving? Black Friday, right? And that's the time everybody's supposed to be so excited about going Christmas shopping and this, that, and the other. And I can promise you and tell you that the way it used to be in our household before I joined Empower Network was that was the most depressing time of the year. And Tony Rush really hit on something and said something on stage in Chicago about there was a time, and you don't understand how it feels. For those of you who are in Chicago, you remember this, when his son Will, they would walk past a toy store, and his son Will saw a Star Wars toy that he wanted, right? And asked his dad for it, asked Tony for it, and Tony had to look down at him and say, not today, buddy, not today. And the fucking toy only cost $7.50, and he couldn't buy it for him. And I had tears in my eyes when I listened to that, because I know how that feels. There's nothing worse in the world than come Thanksgiving and then here's all this great big season, because everybody knows Christmas isn't supposed to be about gifts, but to kids it is, right? And we want to give our kids everything. And when you can't even buy a $7.50 toy for your kid, and you can't provide for your kid, and you're on a shoestring budget, and you can't provide Christmas for your kids, that is the lousiest, most miserable, shit-ass feeling you will ever have in your life. And people hate that season. And you know what? It doesn't have to be that way. Because you join now, I can tell you, if you're an extraordinary person and you take massive action, come Thanksgiving and Black Friday, your ass is going to be ready at the mall at midnight to shop for your family, because you're going to have the money to be able to provide for them and give them everything that you want to give them. If you take massive action and make the decision, take massive action, that you're going to be an extraordinary person, and you don't have to live that way anymore. You don't have to do it, you know? So those stories really touch me. I really relate to those, and they really resonate with me, because been there, done that. And for those of you who have families who are living, you know, paycheck to paycheck, man, Christmas sucks. Christmas sucks. But it doesn't have to, right? You get that, right? It doesn't have to suck. It doesn't have to suck. So, yeah, man, I appreciate that you brought up Tony Rush, man, because he's my boy. I love Tony and Jessica. They're awesome.
Powerful stories. It's just amazing. It's amazing. And yet, another reason why everyone here should own the Inner Circle, because then you can listen to Tony Rush. You can listen to Laura. Yours was amazing, the one you did. I don't remember. Weeks are going by so fast. It feels like it was like a year ago, but it was probably only like maybe 3 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago or something like that. I think it was right before Chicago even that you had that really awesome Inner Circle that you did. It might have even been right after. I don't even remember, but that was awesome. You can listen to Chris. He was on the Inner Circle, 2 weeks ago? And for a long time, a year ago, but this time for a different reason, which is so cool. And you're going to be able to listen to people like Landon's going to be on the Inner Circle sometime soon, I'm sure. And myself will be on the Inner Circle sometime soon, I'm sure. And Thomas and Angela. And you know what? Maybe you, who's watching right now, you might be on the Inner Circle sometime sooner than you think. like Laura said, when you decide to get in and take action, and be unrealistic with your goals and not be average. The average thing in life is to literally have an existence. I was reading this book called Start With Why, and one of the reasons most people are unhappy in life is because they don't do the things they want to do. They do things that they don't want to do on a regular basis, and that's why they're unhappy. And just imagine if you could just do all the stuff you want to do all the time and not the stuff you don't want to do. Like, how much cooler would your life be? It would be absolutely amazing. So imagine if you could just do everything you want. Like that's one of the reasons why I highly recommend. And Laura, I mean, you've got what, like 17 assistants now? You've got you've got like diaper changers. You've got, you've got people cleaning the toilets. You've got people cooking your food. You've got people cutting the lawn. You need a pool boy. Remember that. You need a pool boy.
I need to get a pool. I think that might be. I think that might be coming soon. I think
if you get a pool boy first, then you'll have a reason for a pool.
I know. If you guys keep talking me into that, I might have to get a pool and invite all you badasses out there to come stay with me in my house as guests and go swimming and hang out and stuff.
That sounds pretty fun to me. I will not be the pool boy, but I might be the cabana boy in that case.
Okay. Cabana boy. So what about Rushlow? Rushlow, you think you want to be the pool boy?
No,
I need some little umbrellas.
Goodness.
I need little umbrellas for my coconut drinks. To go with my coconut water. Oh my goodness.
I am not even going there.
Oh my god. Nah, coconut water is really good for hangovers, guys. That's another secret you just learned right now. If you drink a liter of coconut water when you wake up in the morning, you get very hydrated. If you drink coconut water with your alcohol mixed in it, you stay hydrated while you're drinking. And you get a lot of electrolytes, and it's really good for your health. So coconut water is a must, even if you don't drink. Even if you don't drink alcohol, you can still drink lots of coconut water. And Brett wants to know how much you pay the pool boy. Well, it depends how many times you clean the pool. I think it's a commission basis. That's funny.
Oh, I pay money to Brett to see him clean the pool,
Oh, wow.
In like shorts, grabbing stick to the Brett's pool.
We could even turn it into a video, and then it could be a residual basis off of your one-time work.
Scheming.
I'm totally I love getting paid for shit that I don't do anymore.
What's in your mouth, bro? What's in your mouth, bro?
I think it's part of my red beard.
Oh my god! Oh my. See, now you've made her leave. All right, now first you were attracting women onto the hangout, and now you're making them leave.
What's funny is I didn't even realize what I was saying, Laura, until after I said it, because the thing is I'm Irish. I'm Irish, and some of my beard is actually red hairs.
Oh, that's a part.
My goodness.
Yeah, just moving right
That
along.
was nasty, dude.
That was nasty.
Ooh, I can't even breathe.
That is
Landon.
funny.
Landon, so here's a question for you, man. After we've been going through all these different loops and different phrases and language patterning and everything, you've made quite a study of this stuff anyway.
Right.
What would you say is your experience of us tonight with the different languaging that we've done? Would you say that most of it's making sense, or there seems to be a whole other level to it?
Oh, it's crazy because I study it, and you can go through my phone, and it's just book after book on NLP, hypnosis, etc. And seriously, everything is up another notch. Whenever I read the email that Jordan sent out for the hangout or whatever, I was oh my gosh, everything is another level of greatness now. And it's crazy because I study it 3 hours a day or more. I've been studying this stuff, and it's I now feel stupid, I know nothing about language because you guys are just it's amazing. And so I'm excited to buy the product. I realize now that I need it. And
so Laura, if you haven't noticed yet, we have our own little miniature version of David Wood that has good hair and doesn't smell.
I usually shower, so.
Usually.
But I started wearing my tanks though, everywhere I go, and my girlfriend started watching the Dave Wood videos, and she's she wears tanks all the time, and you just started wearing tanks everywhere you go now. She's are you like trying to like be like him? I'm like, I don't know. He must have like hypnotized me into going and buying a bunch of tank tops. I'm like,
Has
I
nothing to do with it now it's summer. Nothing to do with that.
yeah, there is no correlation there. That's funny, but yeah. And like another thing with the hypnosis stuff, because I know that there are like a lot of people like Chris was talking about earlier with like the ethical stuff. Because I'm a Christian, and so like before I started like studying this stuff, like I went and I did like a ton of research on like the ethical stuff, and one like big like comparison that I found that Chris like kind of mentioned is like your unconscious, like it's there to like completely like protect you and keep you safe like morally, and everything that like you believe is like right and good, and that's kind of what like your unconscious mind does. It like serves to like protect you. And so, like, it's like whenever you're driving down the road and you kind of, like, go, like, into, like, trance. And everyone knows what that's feel like. Like, you show up somewhere and you don't know how you got there and things like that. But, like, if you're driving and you're actually in that trance state and you see, like, a cop or you see something that's going to cause you danger or something that goes against, like, your unconscious that's there to protect you, like, you immediately, like, snap out of, like, trance and things like that. And it's the same thing with, like, anything that, like, we do. Like, you can't make someone do something. If it goes against anything, if it's not there to protect you, you'll immediately snap out, and there is no... and so that's like another big thing. You actually go through trances all the time throughout the day, whether you realize it or not. And many of you are realizing now that you go through trances all the time throughout the day. You actually have many different levels of trance. Some of you are going into a trance as you listen to me speak tonight. And it's kind of just a natural process of life that's there to help you because you can get a lot more done. You can, like while you sleep, you actually, your dreams only take place like 5 minutes while you sleep throughout the night, which is something that I'm learning about now is actually like dreaming and stuff. Now, your dreams are like 5 minutes long while you're sleeping, and it seems like your dreams are like hours. So whenever you go into like an unconscious state, you can actually learn more, and you can actually do much more incredible things than what you could if I was just trying to talk straight into your conscious mind. It's going a level deeper, and it's crazy. And these guys are like awesome at it now. And like one weekend, like imagine whenever the product. And I was like on Skype with them earlier, and I'm like, seriously, like this product, it's going to make Empower Network the most powerful company in the world. Because I struggled online for years. And the thing that's taken me from struggling to making like $25,000 over the last 70 days or so is seriously like getting everything, focusing all of my energy, all of my effort on language patterns, how to influence people through words. Because I used to always try to influence people like on the phones and things like that. So I've been on the phones for hours and hours and hours trying to sell, trying to do all this crap. But if you learn how to influence, how to persuade, how to hypnotically command people to do what you want through writing, through videos, while you're not there, you can make money doing whatever you want. You can make money while you're at the beach, while you're sleeping, while you're having fun, instead of having to do stuff to make money, which is what's so sexy about it, you know? But yeah, there's my thing.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Landon, actually. That's actually a very important point.
So,
A lot of people are thinking, like, what the heck's going on here? You know, like, what are you trying to do to my mind here? And it's a very good point also in the fact that you were able to, you know, you went and did the research on it as well and back that up. And thank you for that, you know, because that's important. Because there's a lot of people here that might, you know, wonder about that. And so, yeah. All I gotta say is come over to Team Be the Change because we have ice cream.
So Jordan, I just got a message on Skype from my web developer Jason, who apparently is on this call, and he's like, "Fucking Redbeard, are you serious?" And I'm like, "Shit."
It's hilarious.
Yeah, Landon, you think it's hilarious now. Wait till you get it on the inside, buddy.
He wrote, "These bitches, fucking Redbeard? Are you serious?"
Well, talking about the trance state and going into trance and like thinking more with your subconscious or your unconscious and paying attention with your unconscious mind more than your conscious mind, the thing that we learned this weekend, all the stuff that we learned this weekend, all the stuff that I'm able to implement into my business right now is because I learned it with my unconscious. Trust me, I was not learning with my conscious mind this weekend. Like, it was fucking gone. My conscious mind was spaced out the second we got there on, what was that, Thursday night, Chris, when we got there at 11 o'clock at night, and then we went out till like 5:30 in the morning, and then we jumped in the ocean at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, some of us weren't wuss bags, but anyways, I'm just kidding, Chris.
I jumped in the ocean. Don't even go there.
I'm talking about Thursday night before you even got there.
Oh, I was there Thursday night.
Oh shit. Well then, where were you? Ah.
Y'all didn't want to have anything to do with me Thursday night. No,
Maybe I was still scared of you because you're making so much money. I think
that must be it.
We could only handle a couple nights of team no sleep.
Yeah. But that's why you're able to learn so much so quickly when you do go into that unconscious, and that's why it's good for you to pay attention for hours on end to these training videos. Even if only for the first 2 hours we talk about a whole bunch of nonsense and put a lot of embedded commands and hypnotic language in there, you don't even realize you're learning stuff. And then at the end of it, when we started actually sharing a lot of stuff with you that was really going deep, you really picked up on a lot of stuff. You heard Laura tell stories. Maybe you felt the need to get ice cream, like I think Reed went and got ice cream because he was listening to Laura talk about it. But you might have learned some other things after the first 2 hours of shenanigans because you started getting really tired and going into that subconscious mode. And you heard stories about Tony Rush, and you heard stories about Landon and Brett and Thomas and Angela and Chris and myself, and different inner circle things or different things that we talked about, and you learned a whole lot of things that you probably don't even realize that you learned right now. And maybe tomorrow, maybe a week from now, maybe 6 months from now, that's going to hit you back in your subconscious again, and it's going to come actually to the conscious, and you're going to share that story, you're going to share something, or you're going to have a massive breakthrough. Again, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe 6 months from now that you didn't even know you were going to have. I remember years ago, I was actually, I used to hate driving, and Laura, the reason that I hated driving was because of I would see drivers on the road pretty much like that fucking cab driver was in the cab that we were driving in. That's how people drove around me, and so in my mind, that's how I pictured everyone driving, and I would see someone merge in front of me, and instantly in my mind I would get angry, and I would say, that fucking asshole's going to cut another person off in a moment. And so I would get into my car after years of driving, and the second I would get into my car, I'd just get into this angry state, and I'd be pissed off, and I'm like, I hate driving. I literally hate driving. And then one day, out of nowhere, and I'm going to share with you in a moment exactly how this happened, but one day out of nowhere, I got into my car, and I was like, holy cow, I'm happy. I was like, what happened? And so weeks later, I was actually on Skype talking to a good friend of mine who has this whole training on mindset, on personal development, on becoming balancing the 4 states and actually like becoming calm in life and what have you. And I told him the story of what happened to me and how I all of a sudden was happy when I was driving. I was no longer angry. And he said, dude, 6 months ago I implanted something in your mind that you didn't even know I implanted in your mind, and that's why you had that breakthrough all of a sudden. And I was like, holy shit, okay. So the thing is, it's in your subconscious mind. All the stuff you learn tonight in your subconscious, it might break through again tonight, tomorrow, maybe a couple days from now, but it might take a few months. And when it does break through and all of a sudden things start happening, like amazing things in your life, you might be able to think back to this night and say, because I got in right then, because I clicked that throbbing button down below and just got started right now with that team and plugged into their team site and followed what they taught me, but most importantly, didn't just listen to what they taught me and didn't just pay attention to what they taught me. I actually took action with what they taught me. I actually took massive action and got myself some fucking ice cream. All of a sudden, my life is magical 6 months from now. Just go ahead and do it.
I think Laura just saw
Bam.
the chat. I think Laura just saw what I wrote in the chat.
You know what'll be awesome when I have multiple 8-figure months?
Multiple 8-figure months.
You
I
mean
love
multiple
multiple
8-figure months.
I love multiple 8-figure months. Let's skip the month. Let's go right down into the hour, even the minute.
Wow. Wow.
My goodness. Now here's a question. Who
Freaking breathe.
who is going to buy that product the second it goes on sale? Seeing what you saw tonight, knowing what you know now, listening to what we've been telling you all night, who is going to buy that product the second it goes on? I mean, I'm going to be in that damn secret private room to buy that thing before everyone else does, but I can't wait till that product goes on sale.
Oh my God. Me too.
Best weekend of my life. Best weekend of my life. I promise you. Swear to you, best weekend of my life.
That's awesome.
Badass. Masterpiece.
It's a close second for me. It's a close second. I'm kidding. It was awesome. I did learn the salsa and the merengue at a dance club at like 2:30 in the morning. And Aki Wood was kind of just standing there like a fucking tree swaying in the wind because he was so hammered. And, the people around were like, who is that guy? And I was like, don't mind him. Let's just keep dancing. Well, the funny thing was, dude, I was dancing with this chick for literally an hour before I finally realized that she couldn't even speak English. I did not know that she didn't speak English, and later on we were trying. She was saying stuff to me. I'm like, "What are you saying to me?" Like I thought I just couldn't hear her because it was so loud in there. Then I realized that she was speaking like Spanish or Portuguese or Cuban. I don't even know what it was.
Was that the blonde?
No, not her. Totally different one. The chick that was teaching me how to dance the salsa at the dance club at the Shifties or Footies or Goofies. I don't remember what it was called, but.
Mangoes.
Mangoes. There we go. Yes.
Mangoes.
I was way off. Way off. And it's pretty cool. When you know how to hypnotize people and you understand persuasion, you can start dancing with girls that you can't even speak the same language as for hours on end, learn how to salsa and merengue, and then you realize that you don't even speak their language. You're like, what the fuck am I doing with this guy? I don't know. I hypnotized her or something. All right. So... Here is something to think about.
Hey,
we've been going for about 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, that's nothing. We can go longer.
And well, no, I mean here's.
We don't sleep.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, y'all, I didn't
go to sleep.
2:04 in the morning over here. It's 2:04 and I'm just getting started. You just don't know nothing about me.
I'm not suggesting that I'm getting tired or anything. I'm not even suggesting that people aren't going to continue paying attention for another 54 minutes. What I'm suggesting is that we only have 54 minutes left to continue talking. And so, knowing the way that we talk and the way that we close things up and wrap things up around here, to really finish her off,
two people on the end of this call. The two people on the end of this call are just like, what on earth? Angela.
We better start wrapping things up to finish it off.
Yeah, there's a lot of inside jokes that happened this weekend that we're laughing
That's
about.
why you have to buy the product as soon as it comes out.
Because then you'll understand so much more. I was talking about that earlier. I said, when you watch this product, you'll understand what we were talking about tonight. You'll see it.
Oh man. You might even learn how to pick up more strippers.
Most likely.
Most likely.
Could be valuable.
You know what? It's actually let me tell you the secret to picking up strippers. Hold on a second.
Oh, here we go.
Make a lot of money.
Wow. I don't even know where to go with that.
I didn't hear what Thomas said. Thomas said something a second ago. Thomas, what'd you say?
Oh, I said I have no problems picking up strippers, you know. That's easy.
Thomas has money.
I got plenty of dollar bills in my pockets.
Nice.
I just flick them. You know.
Angela, do you have problems picking up strippers, or are you good, Angela?
No, I'm good. I'm definitely good.
She probably doesn't even need dollar bills either.
Right?
No, I just smile. I just smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Angela and I'll hit up the strip club in Denver. We'll
Nice.
show you guys how it's done.
Actually, you need to show me how it's done because I don't even know where the strip clubs are in Denver.
Oh, I can find them in about
shit.
30 seconds.
BJ Dalla in the house. Holy shit, man!
What up, BJ?
Hey, BJ.
We got Bo Bridgewater. We got BJ Dalla. Shit, we
I
got we got an audience here tonight. My goodness.
Why are you guys just chiming in just now? We've been
We got
going for three
Jay
freaking
Brown's here.
hours.
Don't rock
Oh my God. Don't give anyone rock hard expectation. Oh, for real. See, Bo was with us. Bo was actually in the video. You saw Laura Parrish rapping. Bo was on the right in there dancing as one of her backup dancers.
Yeah, he was the MC Hammer backup dancer.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was the MC Hammer.
He wasn't the one that was trying to smack my ass, though. Okay, that wasn't him.
Now, what's his name again, Laura? The other one that was trying to smack your ass? What's his name?
Was that Gary?
Yeah, the one that was like, click the link below.
No, that was Ray. Wasn't that Ray?
Did you
Right.
guys see that in the video? I mean, how hilarious was that towards the end of it when he was like, "Click the link below."
He's
As
like,
marketers.
just click
Saw that.
it. Click the link below. And I'm like, this bitch.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
That was so cool. That was so much fun. And I mean, he did that, so I had to put in that little clip of him singing Bon Jovi. You know,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Man, that was something.
You know, one
Angela,
story.
did you watch that video?
I did.
Doesn't it
was
make you
awesome.
really wish you were like there, but at the same time you feel like you were there just by watching that?
Yeah, but at the same time, I really, really, really wish I was there. No, it's funny, like, the importance of reading your emails. Like, you know, if you're on this video right now, obviously you're on somebody's list, and it's so important to read your emails. Like, I didn't even realize there was an event until, like, a week and a half ago, and it was, like, way too late to come. So I was like, But, yeah, no, it looks
Yeah.
awesome. I can't wait to own the product. So I also feel really behind as I'm watching you guys with your language patterns and everything. I'm like, wow, I need to learn this stuff. I need to learn more
Well,
of it because I feel like
well,
I've
if
studied
you
a lot.
If you can do 7,000 last month and not have, you know, all of this implemented yet, then you're doing all right. Just imagine what you can do after you learn this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get
Thomas,
it.
any thoughts after all this crazy shenanigans we've been got going on around here?
I think I grew 2.5 inches, and
Oh my word! What are we talking about? Holy shit!
dude, my
Just
brain,
his
my brain is
posture.
like oozing. Yeah, totally.
He just got really good posture.
This was totally.
He just
over,
sat
man.
up
I had
erect,
no-
Laura. Good posture.
So I'm finally at 3 inches. Now, anyways, so yeah, this was above my head. I had no clue what you guys were talking about. I tried to make sense of it, but hell no. It was very sexual. It was
Subconsciously,
very
you learned a
sexual.
lot.
I got horny. Yeah, that's for sure.
Is that why you had that weird look on your face for 27 minutes?
For about an hour.
Wow, you know what? That means we did our job.
Yes.
You got
No,
horny.
Laura,
we
you
our
did
job.
the job, you know, not
Oh, I did my job.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't make you horny,
Wow.
Thomas. That makes me feel really
Nice
good about
dream.
myself.
Yeah.
Wow, I guess
Yeah,
I
you
did my
didn't- you
job.
didn't.
Thanks for inviting me on, guys. I'm glad I could help somebody.
No, it was awesome listening to you guys. I mean, I tried to understand most of it, but it made no sense to me. But that's okay. I'm Austrian, you know. I'm allowed to not get it. So I can't wait for the product to come out and actually watch you guys like.
Well, heck,
Whatever
we
it is,
teach it,
get
but
some
we're
training.
under we're under non-disclosure agreement at this moment. You know, we're actually not allowed to teach the specifics. So we can
So
we can
am I.
talk a little
So
bit
am I.
about it indirectly. But
I'm just like, yeah, I'm not allowed to either. I don't even know him yet.
but here's what you can know. Here's what you can really feel good about, and that is that we're going to be implementing a lot of this into our autoresponders, into our sales videos from here on out, and that's all of the things that in our team you're going to be able to leverage and use for yourself as if you were the one that was the originator bringing it to the person that you're about to bring into your business. Now, how cool is that? So just by virtue of us learning this, we're elevating the whole team, even without you having to know it, and that's the power of being in Team Be the Change. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Amen. Holy cow.
Hot
Cows
here.
can be
Burn
holy.
it up.
Yep.
It's no wonder I feel so holy. I've been eating so many cows lately. Has nothing to do with all the spiritual books I'm reading.
You know, that book, Start With Why. Just on another note here, I got a few quick announcements here as well about things. But guys, this book, Start With Why, Jordan gave it to me on the plane, and Amy had recommended it. A few people had recommended it. You know, this guy doesn't have a publicist. He doesn't have anything going on in the way that he's trying to, you know, promoting this book. This book is all totally word of
Viral.
mouth. Viral. I mean, viral in a sense that's amazing because it's not necessarily viral online because it's a paperback book, but it's gone viral. And this guy talks about why companies succeed and why a lot of companies don't. And he talks about the difference between having the right why and having the right purpose for starting a business and running a company. And gives a lot of examples about, why certain companies failed and why other ones, are a total phenomenon. Like, there's reasons why people write books about Southwest Airlines, and people write about Apple and these total game changer companies that come along and do everything outside of the norm that is not expected of them. And the same thing's happening with Empower Network. We've got that same type of why. The more that you read this book, I'm halfway through it, and the more I read this book, the more I know exactly what this guy's talking about. That he's talking exactly about Empower Network too. That's the coolest thing. And the vision behind Team Be the Change and why we're doing it. As you guys know, when we started this thing, it started out being, hey, this is about being the change you want to see in the world. Well, how do you do that? Well, you set yourself free, and then you're able to be the change that you want to see. That's real simple. So that book is awesome. Everybody should read it. I honestly highly recommend it. And Jordan, I don't know if this is all right with you, but I think that should probably be our next book for the reading.
Yeah.
Put it on the list, because that book really just shifts your mind in how people think. I mean, he actually dissects why Continental Airlines, which was known as the most horrible airline around back in the late 80s, I believe it was, and then they had one guy come on as the CEO, new CEO, which was like the 10th CEO in 11 years or something like that. And they kept on turning people over. And there were people, the people that worked at Continental Airlines, they were literally embarrassed to tell people that they worked at Continental Airlines because the service was so bad and just the way they ran things were really, really bad. Well, this guy came in and completely turned it around to being the 4th most profitable airline in 1 year, won an award, and completely turned around their image, and everything completely shifted within a year's time because this guy had the right why. And it trickled down throughout the whole organization, because once you have the right why, then the how is automatic. You guys see that? You're like, well, why am I doing this? Okay, here's now why I'm doing it. Okay, now how am I going to do it? Well, it's based on the why, and it becomes automatic to you when you understand the how. And the same thing was with Empower Network when we knew why we wanted to do it. When Dave started this thing, I asked him, I was like, so why are we doing this thing? He says, well, honestly, everybody we see and everybody we try to teach this stuff to has a couple issues. One, they get these crappy little commissions, so they can't really make any real money. It takes them forever to get to a point where they're making okay money to be able to quit their job and be able to be free and be able to do this full time, what we call full time, right, as marketers, 2-3 hours a day. And then also the fact that it took people to get paid so long, like they'd have to wait like a month before they get commission checks, and and that kind of thing, and that they were always being pitched outside products, from people. They'd get on all these different lists trying to learn something, and they'd get blasted with analysis paralysis because they had 15 different marketers trying to sell them 15 different products every week, and they were hopping on the latest new launch of the week every week. And Dave just got so sick of that, he said, you know what, here's why I'm going to change this. I'm going to create a company that is completely internal, where we protect the leads. You get to own your own list. We never promote them ourselves. We're going to pay you right away, and we're going to give you 100% commissions. So when we had all those three things, that was the why. And sure enough, because he had the why, he was walking through the woods one day, down the road from his house. I actually know exactly where this happened at when he described it to me. And he stepped on a branch, and there was a snap, and I remember he remembers the sound of that snap, and all of a sudden it's like the vision of the comp plan just appeared to him in his mind's eye, in the blink of an eye. It's like all of a sudden, because he had his why and he now had solidified why he was creating this company, the comp plan, it was literally like it was by divine inspiration. And it came up and it showed up in his head, and he was like, oh, 2, 4, 6 every fifth, how that works, power lines, oh my God, that works. And it just happened like that, And so then, because he got how, then, what was next, and that was building the company. And so that's why, because a lot of people try to start out with, backwards, starting out with what am I going to do to make money? What am I going to do to change things? What am I going to do to perpetuate the same type of lifestyle I have? What am I going to do to survive? And instead of asking yourself, why am I doing this? And when you really get down there, that's when it gets to the good stuff. You know, it's the same thing with, you know, we got down to our why in the first part of this frickin' language packet that we had to deal with till 3 o'clock in the frickin' morning on Friday, which I hated him for at the time and love him for now, because, you know, it was talking about our well-formed outcome and understanding why. And so this right here, when you get your hands on this, all right, then
worth
you
millions.
understand. Man, because, I mean, Jordan, you went through the process, and what did that do for you going through that process?
Well, you know, every time I go through the process, I dig a little deeper in certain different directions, and I discover different things I didn't even know. You know, I'm like, I didn't know that's why I was doing that, or it just changes. You know, like originally when I did it in January, I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, or back in December, I should say, I got it, and I figured some things out. But then we did it in January live in the audience, and I was like, okay, holy shit, okay, that's a whole different, deeper reason. Then we did it again in April, and I was like, oh my God, so we dug even deeper in April. My vision just got deeper. But then this time when I did it, not only was I in the same position that I was in April, but I also had like a kind of like similar side reason, you know. So it's just cool to dig deeper and dig in different directions and figure some. And on a side note, really quick, guys, I literally just copied the video that Chris created today on his YouTube account. And I just published a blog post in about, I think it took me 47 seconds, because 2 weeks ago I created a template for my videos that has buttons on it where people can click to join and whatnot, and I'm able to just literally copy and paste the HTML code, which you may not understand at this moment. But I just published a blog post in 47 seconds, and you too can, I mean, what's your excuse? Blog every day.
Yeah. Man, that was an awesome video. I liked that video I made today.
That was pretty badass. I was thoroughly impressed, and I'll be bothering you after this call to get help with how I can do something cool like that too, because that's one of the things that Dave's talked about is knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not good at and doing what you're good at, and then like getting other people to do the stuff that you're not good at who are good at it. That like totally confuses you.
Well, I mean, that's totally it, you know, like that's the thing is that, you know, in our team we've got different people that have different pieces. I mean, Jordan has a major Facebook training deal. I can do a lot of video stuff. Angela's an amazing video marketer that knows how to promote and get them ranked, and that's how she's making her money right now is through video marketing. So we got a lot of different things here that we all help each other out with, and that's the power of a team, obviously. So, yeah. You know, hey, Laura, we might even be able to bargain. You know, we might be able to show you some of the things we do here if you show us some of the things you do.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about that a few minutes ago, man. I really was because, you know, obviously Chris has been in this business longer than me. I've only been in a year, but he's been since before the beginning. And, you know, he's friends with Dave Wood. And, you know, and that was one of the things that's really cool about these smaller events, okay? I'm not in the Dave's Direct Downline, so I didn't get invited because I was in the Direct Downline. I got invited because I was a leader, so that's one reason why you should strive to be extraordinary, because you get invited to cool shit, right? So that was a privilege for me. But I got to tell you, like, I've known Chris. Chris remembers me from San Diego. He was actually sitting next to me in San Diego, but he didn't really know me, and I didn't know him, and you know, we were in Austin, but we've never really connected until this last event. And it wasn't just me and Chris, it was me and tons of other people at this event, because at the big events, you know, really don't have that personal level of communication. You really don't have the time to connect, especially as a leader, and you're like, go on stage and you got to do this and you got to be here, and everybody wants pictures and everybody wants videos. But really had the opportunity to connect with other leaders, other people in this business, and get some ideas that I'm actually going to be rolling out to my team tomorrow of what other leaders do and other people do. So I was just thinking about that this team, because there are so many teams, you know, and I don't need to name them. Everybody knows there's lots of teams within Empower Network. But this team right here, Team Be the Change, I was actually thinking about a few minutes ago, this is a team that is completely, undoubtedly, positively 110% in line with everything that I believe in, because to me, that's what this is about. This is about changing people's lives. So Be the Change, you know, is just that's magnificent. It's magnificent. It's perfect, you know. And of course, I got Team No Sleep, right? But that's just because, you know, everybody thinks, oh, I don't want to be on Team No Sleep because that means I can't sleep. But really, the purpose behind it is success never sleeps. Success never sleeps, you know. Right. And I just happen to never sleep too, but you know, that's not a requirement. But you know, David Sharp said something back October 15th, I believe, of 2012. He said, you gotta follow your heart, and you gotta stop thinking your way out of every good situation and opportunity that is placed in front of you. This is here for your taking. And you have to stop thinking your way out of it. What if it doesn't work? Well, what if this? What if that? Well, what if the world ends tomorrow? I mean, you have to live every day as though it's your last day, and make the decision that you're willing to live the way you want to live to change your life. And remember also that people don't follow you because of where you've been, but where you're going. Tony Rush said that. I mean, hell, I said on stage in Chicago, I didn't think I would ever have anything to say out of this mouth that anybody would want to hear. And now I have people following me by the masses, because of the person that I used to be, a recovering alcoholic. Who would want to hear anything that I have to say? But because of this business, right, I'm a different person, and that completely changed my life, So people who join Empower Network and decide to be extraordinary people and decide to take massive action are really grabbing hold of the life preserver, if you look at it in perspective. Aaron Rashkin said that a long time ago. Who are we? Are we going to throw you a life preserver? Which what we're doing is we're offering you an opportunity, right, to be an entrepreneur, to change your life. What you decide to do with it is up to you. Whether you decide to be average or whether you decide to be extraordinary is completely up to you. So if we throw you a life preserver, right, and you don't like the color of it, or you don't like the way it floats, or you don't like this about it, and you throw it back, well then guess what? Why should we try to save your life if you don't want to save your own life, right? So that's really what we're doing, and people need to learn, everyone, including me, and this changed about me when I joined this, is you have to catch yourself in limiting statements, catch yourself in limiting statements, instead of saying, well, I can't do it, or I don't have the money to do that. Chris Record talked about one time about rephrasing it so that you're saying, up until now, I didn't have the money to do this, or up until this point, I wouldn't make the time to do this, or whatever. Just rephrasing things. And again, going back to what I said earlier, if you'd asked me 6 months before San Diego if I would ever, go on a trip, I would make every excuse in the world about why I couldn't. But what Empower Network did for me is it helped me change my mindset. So now I don't make decisions based on how much money I have, okay? I don't make decisions based on how much money I have. A lot of people, you hear people say, oh, I'm never having kids. I'm not going to have kids until I can afford to have kids. I hate to break it to you, then you ain't never going to have kids. Because if you wait till you can afford to have kids, you'll never have them, because there's always something, right? But really, I make decisions now based on what's best for my personal life, what's best for my family, and what's best for my business. Not on whether I have money or not. And the reason that I can do that is because Empower Network paved the way. So that when I make those decisions and I make commitments, I know that the money will be there for me to fulfill those commitments because of Empower Network, It's the amazing thing to make 100% commissions, and when you go spend $2,500 on a John Deere tractor, the next morning you wake up and it's like, shit, I didn't spend any money because it's right back there. You know what I'm saying? So it's, it's an amazing thing. And Chuck Marshall said something back in February, which I also think is hilarious, that people will work 40 to 50 hours a week, right? 40 to 50 hours a week to make about $2,400 a month, right? But then, like, they sign up for working from home with Empower Network, and if they don't make $10,000 in their first week, they're like, oh, this is a scam, And it's so funny because it's like, well, hell, you're willing to work 50 hours a week. Hold up, let me get this straight. Let me adjust, right? You're willing to work 50 hours a week, make $2,400 a month, but you join Empower Network and you want to, like, call it a scam if you didn't make $10,000 in your first week. I mean, that don't even make no sense, right? So people really need to start thinking about what they're saying and listening to people such as myself, Chris Rushlow, Jordan, all these people on this call, okay, and get in the inner circle, because if what you're hearing right now, because of what you're hearing right now, okay, joining, clicking the button below, and yeah, I'll throw the throbbing word in there so everybody can get a good laugh, right? Clicking the throbbing button below to join, and then upgrading to the inner circle. If you think this is affecting you in a great way because you say, well, I never thought about things in the ice cream way about taking massive action, right? Or I never thought about how I look at people as different than myself, and we're really not, and I never thought about this and I never thought about that, and this is really changing your perspective, even just the tiniest little bit. Can you only imagine the possibilities that when you click that button below and join, and when you upgrade the inner circle, and you have access to audios that you can listen to every single day that have knowledge and value and content much more in masses than what you're hearing just from this small panel right here, how your life is going to be affected, how your life is going to be changed. Because there are a multitude of leaders in the inner circle calls that are making tons more money than we're making, right? Who have content to provide to everybody. And I tell you, I listen to inner circle audios every single day. That's one of the things I do when I don't sleep, because my kids aren't in my ear when they're asleep, right? So at night is when I listen to my calls. So you just have to do it. I mean, this is just a taste. This is just a tiny sample drop of the ice cream, right? Of your favorite ice cream, right? So you've got to make the decision, take the action, get the bowl of ice cream, get in the inner circle so that you can have access to all this stuff at all times at your fingertips that you can go back and pull from, because this is the key. People want to know what the secret is? The secret is you. The secret is you getting off your ass and going and getting a bowl of ice cream. When you do that, your life changes. It ain't nothing that, it ain't no special Facebook training, because, right? Everybody's like, oh, Laura's Facebook training. Guess what? All these leaders that came before me, before I ever even dreamed about being an internet marketer, before I ever picked up anything to do with internet marketing, they didn't have Laura's Facebook training. They made it. They're making $100,000 a month, $50,000 a month. So it's not about this training or that training or this training or that training. This is a people business. People follow people. And when people believe in themselves and believe in one another and edify one another and come together, one another, like we're doing right now at this very moment as you sit and listen to us on this hangout, right? When people do that, people are moved extraordinarily and lives are impacted, shifted, and mindsets are changed. So by clicking the button below and joining us, you can be a part of that, right? You don't have to be on the outside anymore. You can be sitting right here with us. You can be in Miami with us on the beaches of the world. You can be affecting yourself, your family, changing lives around you. And that's just badass. I mean, like David Sharp said, I think, and I didn't used to think this, but I think now I'm a pretty cool motherfucker, right? Because I can do stuff like this. And everybody on this call is as well. So I'm going to be quiet now because I'm like taking over your call. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, that was perfect because, you know, that needed to be said because that's an important thing people need to understand. And so it's like, you know, one of the things about our team is, you know, like we talk about be the change. Well, a lot of people, you know, they'll wonder like, well, you know, what is the change? You know, like what is the change for you? And I would encourage you to ask yourself, you know, if you're going to be the change, then what's the change for you? You may have things that you don't like or not satisfied in your life. You've got to change them. And so this is the part where you get serious with yourself and you do the necessary steps to change your life so that you can be that change and then inspire others to do the same. If there's no accident, you know, and what a lot of you who are in the team know, our sub-headline there with our team is "We are the ones we have been waiting for." I hope a lot of you understand what I meant when I made that headline. We are the ones we have been waiting for. What that means is that it's time that you do not look up and follow anyone else as your guru when it comes to being told how to think, but you have the revolution of your own mind to realize that you have a certain set of circumstances that you may need to change in your life, and it's time to have the courage to face those head on and be that. Because once you understand that, there's nobody else that can come save you. There's nobody else that can come do it for you. What we're here to do is inspire you and give you the tools to be able to pick this thing up and do whatever it is. Chop down that tree, dig that hole, do whatever it is, fix that roof, whatever it is in your life that you need to do to change, we give you the tools to do that with. And for some of you, it may be get a bigger fucking hammer, you know, and others, it may be scissors, you know, cut out some bullshit, you know, whatever it is, we've got the tools here for that. But it's not what matters. It's about understanding that you have to pick up those tools, and you are the one that you have been waiting for. The only one that can ever save you from any of this is standing in your shoes. And I'll tell you what, you don't want to walk a mile in a lot of other people's shoes. You'd rather walk in your shoes, so make it good. That's why we are the ones we have been waiting for, because we are being the change we want to see. Y'all hear me?
Amen, brother. Amen.
Absolutely.
That's why I do this thing.
I mean, you're leaving people speechless. Speechless. It's true. It's completely true.
You know, once you get to the point where you're free and you have a choice, you know, it's funny that, you know, your concept of freedom changes. Your concept of freedom shifts from I'm free to do whatever I want to I actually have no choice anymore but to do exactly what I want and exactly what I'm here to do. You know, it's funny that, you know, you might be in a place now where you're in a space of survival and things are tough and you may have just enough money, you know, to get by every month, and things might be tough in your life and stressful, and you think, man, if I could just have another couple $1,000s a month, I'd be good. You know, everything would be different, and I would have the choice to choose how to spend my days. I would have the choice to learn how to, you know, do certain things in my life better. I would have the choice to be able to treat my family, you know, to certain things that they didn't have before. I would have the choice to do all these things I never wanted to do. And the reality is that, you know, yeah, you go through a time where that's all the case, and then, you know, it's like you get that handled. And then it comes down to, I really have no choice but to live my purpose. And that's what fuels me. That's what keeps me up. That's what has me work so hard. That's what keeps me going. That's what fuels me when I'm putting stuff together for the team and I'm working 3 times as hard as a lot of other people, because I know that it gives me joy to be able to see other people break through. That's what it's all about. And I'll do these things and put these things in place if people want to make the choice to be here and to do that and go through that process. We provide that process for you. All you got to do is really want to do it. You know, that's the inspiration part. It's not about trying to motivate you here. It's not about trying to give you external motivation to give you a reason for a week to go do something. It's about inspiring you to understand about who you are and why you're here and what would you do if all that other bullshit was handled. What would you do? And if you can get there, then you'll have inspiration. And when you act from inspiration, when you act from your why, you don't need to be motivated. You'll find that it's automatic to do the things that you need to do every day. And it's easy and it flows.
Fuck. Okay, I got to read this right now.
Okay.
I got a post the other week, and I posted it, and it took me about 5 times of reading it before it finally kind of sunk in on exactly what was being said. But it was something I got from Esther Hicks the other week, and it goes right in line with what you're saying here, Chris. There is not something you are supposed to do. There's not something that you should do. There's only that which you are inspired to do. And how do you get inspired except by contrast? It's the life experiences that give you the idea of the desire, and then as you focus upon that desire, the energy flows.
Nice.
Well,
that's it.
I'm going to post that actually in the comments so everyone else here can actually just
you know, it's funny because
read that a few times.
Please do. You know, it's funny that Drumvelo here, he said, you know, you are your own guru, and it's so true because, you know, it's funny. A couple hangouts back, I had said something. I think it bears repeating. A lot of people have really liked it. Was that I have an acronym for guru. You know, because so many people have always been searching for the guru to help save them and help them understand more about themselves, when, you know, the real revolution is within yourself, and everything you need is inside of you. Everything you need is inside of you. Did you hear that? Let me tell you, let that sink in. Everything you need is inside of you. Everything. And guru is just an acronym, and it stands for G. You are you. That's simple. That shit ain't rocket science.
I love it.
I like it.
That's pretty good. Never heard that before.
Really?
Not heard that one.
I thought I said it on a
All right. Someone just clicked that button below and joined. Maybe actually a couple people, but I just got an email, which is, it only happens like every like sixth or seventh member I get.
Yeah, that's how mine is now.
And that's the thing, guys, is that don't compare yourself so much about, you see other people having a lot of success and you're thinking to yourself, I've been in twice as long as them and I'm trying everything, and that's kind of one of the main things right there is you're trying something for a little while and moving on to something else before you give it time to actually, plant the seeds, water it, and let it grow. And the thing about that is that for some people the tool is going to be to get a bigger fucking hammer, and just crush it. And other people, it's going to be cutting out bullshit. It's going to be scissors.
Just imagine if your hammer was 3 inches longer.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Exactly.
Open loops.
But what I'm saying here is, don't compare yourself and think that because someone else is doing this. This was what Laura was going back to. She was like, I'm talking about, my Facebook strategy, and I have all these leaders that are like, what are you doing here? Like, well, I want to know what you're doing. And, like you said, they had already figured out these people are already making $100,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $60,000 a month, $80,000 a month. And they're like, Laura, what are you doing? And Laura had never had any internet marketing experience or anything like that. And she got started, like, what was it, like, June 3rd of last year, was it, Laura? Like, it's been about
May 24th.
May 24th. Okay. So, it's been like a year, and she didn't have any, background at all in any of this stuff. And I'm telling you, she's not technical, just like I'm not technical, and she's just figured something out that works for her. Now, the funny thing is that, I've given tools to people and taught them certain methods, and it doesn't work for them because they're not me. And so the other thing about this is that, just like what Esther Hicks was saying, is that you got to do what works for you, what you want to. Like, it's not about what you have to. It's about what really resonates. And so it's something to that effect, right? Because it's the same concept. And so it's like, Laura's Facebook strategy, which, is, by all intents and purposes, let's not downplay it. Let me just give you props, Laura. To get 50 to 100 leads a day for free from Facebook, or 25 to 50 leads a day where you like 50 to 100 people friend requesting you or following you every day, and bringing in an average of, at the last contest you were doing like 12 new signups a day. Are you kidding me? That's insane. And nothing paid, and that was all free. That's insane. That's completely freaking awesome. Like, let's not downplay that. But the fact is that she's Laura Parrish, and she can do it in a certain way that works for her. Someone else did it the same way. It may not work the same way. So that's why we give tools, and we always encourage you to stay open-ended with it and find ways to figure out the best way to do it for you, and don't compare yourself to others. It's like, I had a call from someone that eventually quit. And so pay attention to this for the signals here. I had someone who quit after they joined, and they were in for about a month and a half, 2 months. And he called me right away, and he's like, all right, man, I've listened to some of these videos. I've listened to the Inner Circle, and I've seen, these people that are making 30, 40, 50,000 a month. What is it that I have to do to make that next month? And I was like, dude, you have no internet marketing experience, and what makes you think you can make that your first month? Now, I'm not saying you can't, but that would be exceptional. And he's like, well, I just want to know exactly what to do. And I'm like, well, I can't really tell you that, because marketing is different for everybody. You've got to figure out your own, niche, your own unique selling, proposition, whatever the heck you call it. You got to figure out what you're about and your why, and you got to figure out all those things, and then be congruent with it in your own marketing, and try a few things and see what you like, what you get in a flow with, and what you enjoy doing. And he's like, and he wouldn't hear me, because he had not been able to shift out of the mindset from an employee who's used to being told everything they have to do, and then they do just that and no more, doing just enough to get by, to not get fired, versus an entrepreneur that says, what can I do to improve? What can I do to be better? Every single moment they're asking themselves that question to get better, and what extra mile can I go to today to be better than the next day? That they don't need recognition for, that they don't need to get a paycheck for. They would rather, they know that their profits are better than wages. you know? And so he couldn't shift out of that. And what happened? This same person, and some of you might know who I'm talking about when I say this, jumped into the Facebook group and said, you know, this is a bunch of BS. You know, they don't teach you anything until you spend $1,000. And, you know, so I really, you know, so everyone that's telling me I can make money for only $25, and then the stupid training they have is nothing but they're rambling on Hangouts and, you know, that kind of stupid stuff. And I just want to know what to do, and I haven't been told anything to do. And it's like, dude, have you been inside the training site? And it turns out, you know, he got access to it, but then I can go in there and actually see how many times somebody logs in and if they look at anything. And so some of you, I know who you are that's going through that stuff. And you other ones that you send me messages, ask me them dumb fucking questions, and I see you haven't seen that stuff, go watch the damn videos in the team training site, right? Well, he had logged in like once. And I was like, you haven't even been in the team training site to see all the extra training that you actually get and all the how-to training that you actually get, you know, that we've been discouraged by others not to give people because it's too much to give them when they start. So, you know, that person could not shift their mind about that, and as a result, they quit, you know. And of course, I was actually kind of mean. You know, he was a buddy of mine. I actually know him from back home in Alaska. I grew up around him. You know, we had the same friends, and I was like, dude, you're gonna need to leave or never say anything like that again in the Facebook group, or, you know, get your shit together. And he couldn't. He had to leave because he was looking for all the reasons why it couldn't work.
Yeah.
You know? And all he had to do was shift that, you know. But that's the difference there is when you're looking at thinking that someone else's thing is going to work for you. You know, like I had someone else just recently, someone sent me a message and they were pissed off. They were like, look, I'm spending like $1,000 a month on advertising, and I haven't seen much happen, and I had a couple days where most of my ad spend only yielded me a couple leads, so literally I got like, you know, $15 leads. And then they said, and then I saw Landon's post, and he signed up 6 people in one day. And she's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong, you know? And just pissed and upset, you know? And it's like, the thing is, like, people, like, we do this training, and Landon's got some, you know, he had an amazing training that we did on influence training, but the reality is that you still got to adapt that to yourself, you know? But the problem is that what was going on there with that person is that they were comparing themselves again, you know? Once again, someone who's 3 months into the business and Landon who's 3 years into the business, you know? You know? And I happen to know that person doesn't necessarily do all 8 core commitments every day, which Landon does. So, you know, that's some of the things you got to think about when you're, you know, there's no reason to compare yourself. It's ridiculous, and you got to find your own way. And I'll tell you what, there will be others in Empower Network that will find their own unique way to do something, and it will explode their market. And the last place they will be looking to find out that method is anywhere else but themselves. So keep that in mind when you think you have to go follow somebody or learn from somebody. Now, that being said, we've got a lot of training that helps you find that, and a lot of different tools, and you choose which tool you want to pick up. Maybe an axe, and you may have to sharpen that axe. It may be some scissors. You may have to sharpen those. Maybe a hammer. It may be all kinds of different tools. It may be a little jack giving you leverage, you know. Whatever it is, they're there. And it's up to you to insert you into the equation.
Could even be an ice cream scoop.
I can tell you right now, you could charge a lot of money for this this call that's going on almost 4 hours now with what's been in this call.
Well, we do this every Tuesday.
Oh, I know. I'm just I'm saying the information that's been shared and the fun. I mean, that's just bonus, right? But
no, I appreciate
a lot of information.
No, I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, that's the thank you, Laura. I mean, that's awesome because, you know, appreciate the, you know, the confirmation that, you know, you can come on here. I mean, and honestly, I mean, you've been, you know, killing it, you know. So when you speak and you come from a place of authority, I mean, your best month, you know, last month or so, your best month, what was it?
$33,700.
$33,700, guys. I mean, can you just imagine for a second what it's like to have that kind of money coming in? You got to see, like, she was stealing the checks from us when we're buying drinks and dinner and everything, paying for stuff. You know, like I couldn't even get to it. I was like, ugh, and she'd grab it and pay for it. She'd act like she was going to the bathroom and then go grab it.
I went to the bathroom. I swear I went to the bathroom.
Yeah, you did. But then you also stopped by the waiter and was like, hey, give me that check right now real quick.
I just gave him the card and said,
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it.
What did Jordan say? I didn't hear him. What did he say?
I love it when people buy me steaks and fucking cocktails. I love it, dude.
I did plan it though. Like I got up to go to the bathroom. I already had my Amex in my hand. The bathroom. Like,
you know what I did realize? Our hangout, we actually have more than 12 minutes left because we started about 10 minutes late today.
Oh, I
so
just
everyone
got
could
the
watch that video.
So
we've got like 22 minutes.
I just got the notification 2 minutes ago that we have 30 minutes left.
Right, 28 minutes left. Perfect. So we can talk a little. I'm going to put together a web form really quick while you guys keep talking, and then
You're gonna what?
I'm listening to you talk. I'm just building a web form at the same time. It's has to do with it's my sexy web form, which no one's going to see for a very long time. But one of these days, I'm going to show everyone my sexy web form, and then
JFBB.
That's kind of what it's going to say in there. You know, it's going to be speaking directly to the masses. Chris knows what I'm talking about, and he's the only one.
Yeah.
Ah.
Chad, thanks for the heads up. He said Landon wasn't on the hangout when Chris said the guru means.
Yeah, he was.
Okay. Okay, maybe he was. All right.
Oh, maybe not on that one. On the one you said a while ago. Okay, I was like, Landon was here like 12 minutes ago. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was here tonight. Not the last time.
You know, I said earlier that that when I was one of my little rants about we talk about Empower Network, but it's more a movement, almost like self-help, than it is a blogging platform and marketing training. And a good friend of mine who was on the Empower Hour call not very long ago by the name of Mr. Chris Rushlow, and I did a blog and put him in it about this. He said that to him, Empower Network is a personal development vehicle disguised as a money-making system. And I was just like, oh, here's my pen, here's my piece of paper, let me write that down, And I do that on Empower Hour calls because everybody who's on them are just ridiculously knowledgeable and have value to offer. But he's so right. I mean, that's what this is. It's personal development vehicle disguised as a money-making system. We have products to sell, and it's just, it's amazing, So I thank you for that because I use that a lot. I use that a lot because I believe that, and that's the way I sell Empower Network. People say, "What do you do for a living?" And that's the thing. And here's a key thing. And other leaders have said this before, and it's this: leaders don't complicate things. Leaders don't complicate things, okay? So often we sign up for Empower Network or whatever, and we're like running around. I have to market this. I got to write 10 blogs a day, and I got to get SEO, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to market here, and I got to get 8 accounts here, and and it's just like stop, and just breathe, in and out, because David Sharp and Tony Rush did an Empower Hour call back August 22nd or 27th, I think, that talks about, and if you haven't heard it, and you're in the Inner Circle, you need to go listen to it. Or if you're not in Empower Network, you need to click the throbbing button below, join, upgrade to Inner Circle, and go listen to it. And it's talking about selling the dream, or living the dream that we're selling, okay? Living the dream that we're selling, all right? Because if you're on this computer 24/7, and a lot of people have the misconception that I am because I'm team no sleep and they see me on the computer all the time, but that's bullshit. I work like 3 hours a day, seriously. But the bottom line is, if people see you on the computer all the time, work, ain't nobody going to want to join you. Nobody. Because at least at a job outside the home, you work 9 to 5. When 5 o'clock comes, it's over until the next day. So why would they want to join me if all they do is see me working all the time? That's why it's so important. I tell my team and everyone, share your life on Facebook. Because we tell people to share their lives, but if we can't do it ourselves, then how can we expect other people to do it? My daughter's throwing up on Christmas Eve morning. I'm like, shit, my daughter just threw up everywhere, If I made $50 a day because it was a bad day, I'm like, I only made $50 today, but tomorrow I'll be better. If I made $5,000, I'm like, hey, I had a $5,000 day. I share the good, the bad, the ugly. I share everything because that shows people how down to earth, how honest, how accessible I am, okay? So by being real, you make your life easier. And as far as this business goes and not complicating things, because when I first started, I was pounding it out 8, 10, 12 hours, getting nowhere because all I wanted was money, money, money. But when I stopped worrying about making money and I started worrying about the genuine care, concern, and compassion of everyone around me who wanted to change their lives just like I wanted to change mine, then the money comes in because people will follow you if they trust you and you believe in them. So I learned the really easy way to be successful with this business is just by being yourself, just by talking to people, just by being honest. You know what my ads say? I'll tell you what my ads say. My ads don't say anything more than, hey, I work at home, I make good money, I love it, I ain't got to sell nothing, I ain't got to mail nothing, and I ain't got to use the phone. You want info? Let me know. I'll hook you up. Everybody's like, shit, I want to do that. That's like the best job in the world. I don't have to mail postcards. I don't have to lick envelopes. I don't have to use a phone. I don't have to have inventory. I ain't got to do nothing but like sit at home making money. Who doesn't want that, right? And so what do? I'm like, okay, it's Empower Network. Send them to the video. And a lot of times they come back and they're like, I still don't get it. Okay, well then I have a spill that I already have written up and I send them that. You know what? They ask me 5 questions. Boom, they sign up. It's over. It doesn't have to be so complicated. And another misconception is about blogging. Yes, one of the 8 core commitments is blogging. Most of you guys know I've written like 7 blogs in my entire year in Empower Network because blogging is great. Blogging is key, right? And I understand that. And now I pay someone to do it for me because I can, right? Because I'm an extraordinary person. But the thing about blogging is concrete. Blogging is brick and mortar because long after you're dead and gone and long after I'm dead and gone, if somebody or put something in Google, search for something that I blogged about, it's still going to be there. It's permanent. It's going to get you long-term longevity in traffic, right? It's permanent. But when you blog, you still got to market it. So either way, you're marketing. You are marketing. That is key. So just be yourself. Be honest. Be laid back. Be relaxed. Don't stress yourself out because if people see you pulling your hair out to try to be successful, why would they want to join you? If people hear you talking about you're struggling in your business, why would they want to join you? You talk about your struggles after they happen, right? That's what you do. But you live your life. You live in the moment. You take the breaks and go spend with your family. Doing what we're, living what we're selling is what's going to get you signups. Showing the world your heart and who you are and what you love and what you believe in and how this affects and changes your life is what's going to get people to follow you. I actually have people on my team who haven't made money with this. And you know what? I'm like, you need some help because I'm like here to help you. Like, I can help you make money. And you know what? Some people don't even care, Some people don't even care because they say, you know what? I've gotten so much from Empower Network just on learning who I am and what I'm worth to myself and to my family in this world. That is more than any amount of money I could ever make in this business. And they're okay with that. And some people are like that, and that's fine. But that just goes to show the magnitude and the power of how this business will affect your life. Because it's really not all about the money. It's really not. It's life-changing. Money's great, but changing your life is key. Is key. So it's badass. I mean, hell, y'all know it's changed my life. So another rant. I'm sorry.
No, it works. That works. That is so key. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being able to, just let people know that stuff because a lot of people like to complicate it. And you just laid it out. You're just like, bam, there it is. It's that simple.
It is. It's really that simple.
And people need to know that. People need to realize that they no reason to complicate this stuff. No reason to. And if you're learning, you're already overwhelmed if you're doing it right. That you need to keep it simple. You need to breathe. And just realize at the end of the day, okay, I'm doing a few things every day. I'm exposing this video. I'm exposing my content. If I'm blogging, I'm exposing this message to people, getting in front of people, and I'm following up with people. The rest is details. That's what it comes down to. Find a way to get 50 people to see that video every day, and you'll have 2 signups a day. Right, Landon?
That's all I do, man. That's all I do. I work like an hour a day. And all I do every day is I just send an email, and then I'm done. And people just start buying. I'm like, holy crap. everyone just keeps buying stuff, you know, like some of you are buying right now.
That's awesome. I love this stuff. We're taking it to a whole other level with this.
Oh, I know you
patterning.
guys are. I know you guys.
And here's the thing, guys. It's like, you know, you guys just might be talking about this language patterning and being excited about it because you believe that it's going to help you sell better or help you, you know, gain more notoriety or, you know, have more people sign up in your business and help you make more money. And the reality is that yes, it will do all of those things. Yet, and it's going to help you to learn how to reframe all of your thoughts in your life. And on top of that, you're able to help other people reframe their thoughts in their life. So if you have family members that you see struggle and you can see where they're at, you can see that they're struggling. If you have friends that are struggling, that get themselves down, get down on themselves, and they have really bad negative self-talk, the good news is that you're going to be armed with this knowledge where you're going to be able to first be the change, be an example, be able to show someone exactly how you're changing by the language patterns, and then be able to help them with their language patterns. It may be that, you know, you may have a family member that may not even, you know, choose to be a marketer, may not choose to be an Empower Network, may not to choose to do any of that, but you can also have that person go from a negative role where they're, you know, either draining energy from you to being in a supportive role for you, whether it be a spouse or a family member or someone like that, or just a friend that you care about and you can't stand to see them be down on themselves and beat themselves up when you know better and you know you can help them. And you can do it easily. You guys understand how easy this actually is when you realize that you can take someone through their language patterning and reframe so many things for them like that and help them understand it, and then they can run with it from there. You know, that's empowering people. I mean, that's what Empower Network's about. That's why Dave taught this course. This is his brainchild. This is, you know, I told him as he was standing on stage, I was standing next to him, and I was like, you know what, this is what you were meant to do. This right here, what you're teaching, is what you were born to teach. This is what your natural knack is. This is what you were gifted with. This is your gift to be able to show others how to do this. You're going to help the whole planet raise their consciousness and raise their vibration and raise their understanding of themselves and everyone around them, and that's what we're here for. In a nutshell, in the macro cosmic level, that's where it goes, really, because we're going to get that big. You'll see. Stick around. The best is yet to come.
Yeah, stick around for a little while. You'll see.
We'll see. So with that, closing thoughts, Thomas.
I thought I already said my closing thoughts, but I have none anymore. I can't even speak anymore, you know. But yeah, Laura, thanks for coming on. You rock. I mean, I love listening to you. You know, I'm a spy. I'm the fly on the wall, just listening to you. Every time I see a video, I'm like, click play. You know, I just love your shit. You know, you speak the truth here, like down to earth, and I really enjoyed you on stage in Chicago. I mean, we had fun watching you. We really were moved. I was moved, you know. So, thanks for coming on. It was a blast.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Sweet.
All right.
Oh, is it my turn to closing thoughts?
Go ahead.
You don't want me to do closing thoughts because I'll talk for another damn half hour. No, I'm just kidding. No, I thank you guys. I appreciate it because, you know, like I got Chris sent me the video thing, and then I was like, oh shit, this isn't just a video. This is the hangout, you know, and everything. So I was excited to be here and watch, and it's a real honor that you guys even wanted to have me on here. And I was just scrolling through the comments below, and like everybody is like, who is that? You know, so some people didn't even know who I was, so that's kind of cool. And then some people were like, wow, this is awesome. So, and we're so glad you were on. So thank Team Be the Change for allowing me to be here, for all of you guys, and to share my thoughts. And yeah, I just try to keep it real because that's what it's all. It's just about being real and living life. And man, I love to travel, and I plan on doing a lot more of it. And I can do it now. I can do whatever I want. Thanks to this business, and I can think about myself and believe in myself in a way that I never could because I never thought that I was really worth anything because of the type of person I was and the type of person I used to be in my alcoholism. And I've learned that I am worth gold and that things that I have to say are worth gold too. And I'm just so glad that you guys allow me to share that with you. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I mean, it's actually very rare. Like, you're the second person outside of our team that we've ever actually let onto our Hangouts. So, the first one was like Rob 4, like way back on a Hangout or two. But, we just felt that, that's me and Jordan, no, you resonate enough with us, just like us. You got the same vision. And, this was really relevant for this time around, too, because you spent the weekend with us and, it was really relevant, and so yeah, it wasn't a problem. We really enjoyed having you out. Thank you for being out. We're honored, honestly. Really.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. And so, Angela.
Yeah, I mean, this has just been really, really great. I've learned a lot in this Hangout, to be honest. I mean, I really, I'm excited to dive into the master's course that I just got, and I'm excited to buy this course that is going to be created from the stuff that you guys learned this weekend, because, like I said, and I can see how far behind I am, but it's okay. I mean, in case people are on here thinking like, oh my gosh, they know so much more than me, like, you don't have to know all of this stuff in the beginning to make money. I mean, I made $7,000 last month. In the past 3 weeks, I've made almost $10,000 already. If I add up my income for the past 3 weeks. And, I know that when I learn this stuff that you guys learned this past weekend, it's just going to transform everything. And I really appreciate being on here as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're very welcome. We're glad to have you on, and we're just inspired by you, Angela. I mean, coming you on, it's good to have a lot more female energy, because oftentimes we get a male-dominated hangout. Amy's left to fend for herself on this fucking thing every time, So it's good to bring you out, especially we didn't have Amy here tonight, so it would have been awesome to even have more women out. Amy was saying she wanted to be on, but obviously, for whatever reason, she's probably just knocked out, sleeping since it was like 5 in the morning when we started.
I think the more women, the better.
Yeah, of course, Jordan. That's always your theory.
It took a second. That's funny.
Yeah. But thanks, Angela, and we look forward to being able to work with you and get being able to learn some of your training for the video marketing that you're doing and everything too, and get that going as well, and just continue moving forward. And so, Jordan, go ahead, man.
My closing thoughts.
Wait a second. Did we get Landon yet? We did.
It's cool. Yeah, not me yet. It's cool. Just get me, Chris. It's no big deal.
Landon, go ahead, bro.
All right. I don't even know. Like, the main thing, like, because you come on and you, like, listen, to our Hangouts and stuff like that. The main thing is when you leave to actually, like, implement and do. Because whenever I got, like, started, and I, didn't make money for a long time, my main problem was I had a lot of problems. So one of the main problems that I did is I wasn't actually doing things. Like, I thought I was like doing things because I was always on like webinars, always was like listening and kind of like learning, but I wasn't actually implementing and doing. And then I started kind of building a team and things like that. And I used to personally one-on-one coach like all of my teammates. And I found something sort of fascinating. I found that like literally almost all of my teammates, I would tell them, exactly what to do. And most people never did anything at all. And I could never really figure out why. And I guess it's just like a people thing. Like the other day I saw someone who's kind of like, oh, network marketing, 95% of people fail or whatever. When the truth is that has nothing to do with the industry or network marketing or any company. It's actually like a people thing. Like 95% of people, like quit whatever they start, they don't finish anything at all. And so the main thing, if you can just stay in and just keep producing, keep taking action, like, Laura says, take massive action, do it. Just like the difference between me and like other people that are still struggling, and I've kind of, went from struggling to not struggling anymore. And the main difference between that is whenever I hear someone tell, like someone of authority say to like do this, is I actually do it. There's a difference between listening to someone tell you to do something and actually doing it, actually implementing it in your business immediately. And that's when everything will start to change. Whenever someone says do this every day, Dave Wood a few weeks ago, he's like, you need to start doing videos every day. I watched a video and he said that. Literally, I've done videos every day since, just because he said to do it. And it's important to do that. And that's me, Landon Stewart.
Get it. Get it.
Only the way that he can.
Does that mean I'm up?
You're up, bro.
All right. So,
Wow.
I have no more embedded commands for you. I'm not even gonna like tell
I
you to
do.
pull your credit card out right now and just decide to buy. I'm not even gonna say stuff like that. But I do want to say that I literally just pulled my credit card out and bought something, and it felt really good, especially because I know what's about to happen with this thing. And when you buy something, you know it feels good, like it feels right, and you just do it. You know where you're going to go with it, and you know that it's going to completely change your life, like this thing just did for me, like 4 seconds ago. It feels really good and it feels right. So that's all I got for you tonight, folks. I got to get back to spending more money over here, and like you should do over there. Right there.
The
right now.
levitating credit card. The levitating credit
It
card.
will sort of float.
Ooh. Yeah, you can't even see the numbers. You can't see the numbers.
Oh,
Don't worry.
shit. They couldn't see my numbers because I was like, ooh.
No,
Ooh.
no more embedded commands, my ass.
I just
I have embedded commands. Believe me.
I've got embedded commands.
God, you do. All right, so as we bring another one to a close, guys, I want to thank everybody that came out on the Hangouts. I want to thank everybody in the comment stream. We had a really active comment stream tonight. You guys are awesome. You know, the BTC family, you guys really are family to us. You know, we look forward to it every Tuesday night, and just getting a chance to connect and vibe and talk about what we know and be able to uplift you guys and inspire you guys. And thank you for that. Thank you for everybody on this, you know, the leaders on this Hangout that are here on the panel. You guys are awesome. We couldn't do it without you. And special thanks to Laura. You're awesome. Badass chick.
Someone in the comments said I'm an honorary BTC member now, and I should come back next week. So you'll have to talk to your team about that.
And yeah, definitely. Honorary BTC members. You know what? An honorary BTC member, the definition of one of those is someone who shares the same vision. And if you share the same vision, you know, that's what it comes down to. You know, a lot of you might wonder, here's something cool for you. We'll leave you with this. Go to YouTube, and I want you to type in The Luminaries. And it's LUMINARIES. And it's a group, and they're a very conscious hip-hop type group, but they're actually very positive, very conscious. And their song called Be the Change, it's actually with Trevor Hall, and that's the song that inspired Team Be the Change. I actually listened to that song for a year, and to this day, the song starts out the first 10 seconds. Most of the time I'm already tearing up. My eyes are already watering because I understand the power and the magnitude of what they're saying in there. And these guys talk about being the change you want to see in the world, like Gandhi, living for peace. And you know, these guys are amazing. And that was really the inspiration for Team Be the Change. So if you guys really want to know what really started it, those guys are some of the most conscious cats you'll ever meet, and are so cool, so lyrical, so smart. Their whole album is awesome, actually. You know, just all different messages. But that's one of them. So, you know, go check out The Luminaries on YouTube, and you won't be disappointed. Even the music video itself is awesome. So.
We should put that music video on our team site, Chris, somewhere in the Getting Started guide.
I was actually thinking about it. I was actually gonna put a section, because see, what I actually wanted to do here, I'll just throw this out publicly, is that you know, we always reserve our training for only our team. You know, we give that as part of a bonus for people to be a part of our team. You know, and instead of you know, just giving it out to everybody, you know, that we have to honor that and be in integrity with, you know, offering a team with training. We only give it to the people that join, because we have people all the time that come in and say, hey, you know, I signed up with somebody else, but I don't have a team, or I'm not in a team, or I don't like my team. Can I come to your team? And we have to say, look, we'd love to have you here, but, you know, we really have to honor the people that did choose to join with us. And the tough part is yeah, you know, that's just the way it goes. But however, you know, this purpose is far beyond just training people how to make money online. And so, you know, my thought is, and I've been thinking about this for a long time now, is to have a section that is open to the public, that is a lot of inspirational stuff and a lot of messages and things. Obviously, the Hangouts themselves are public for people to see, and you know, that was a part of it. But, you know, the other part is to have a section where we have, you know, the inspirational songs, videos, you know, rants and stuff that we go on that everybody can, you know, just be able to tap into and be inspired by. You know, if nothing else, be inspired by, no matter what team they're in, you know, because at the same time, we're on planet Earth, we're all on the same team. And that's how I think, you know. So with that, guys, I just got the warning that this broadcast is going to be terminated in a couple minutes. So we have reached our limit. Laura, thanks for coming on and pushing us over. We normally go to about midnight here. We've gone an extra hour.
No sleep, man. No sleep.
We do. Yep.
You guys should look at what Chad wrote in the comments. A couple comments down. It's pretty badass.
She is a force to be reckoned with, isn't she? Man, all right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm seeing it. I saw it a long time ago. Yeah, we'll see. We can explore our options here. So, but
well, thanks for
with that,
having me. I
guys, we love
appreciate it,
you.
guys.
I loved it.
You're awesome, Laura.
Thank you. And,
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming out for sure.
Yep. BTC family, we love you. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Those of you on the all-in call, we'll see you tomorrow. All right.
Later, y'all.
Later.
See you then.